Good morning and a very warm welcome to Gangneung, Korea, a beautiful place with its long beaches, lakes and bustling food markets. Host to ice sports during this year's Olympic Games, it's now again home to the roaring game. The Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2018 is on its last day. We'll be taking you inside the Gangneung Curling Center to find the bronze medal games. Our future matchup is played on Sheet B. Korea take on New Zealand for third place in the men's competition. Following this game and giving you the play-by-play, myself, Sander Ulvåg, and I'm joined by Olympian and Swiss Helm. A mighty good morning to you.
And same to you, Sander. This is going to be an outstanding bronze medal game between Korea and New Zealand. Something that we've been waiting for all week, these medal rounds.
Yeah, all comes down to this for these teams. And their pregame practice. The teams should be more than ready as they enter the arena one last time. There we see the Kiwis making their way onto the field of play, closely followed by their opponents, Korea. It's been a good week for New Zealand.
It really has been.
We'll take a look at the lineup for Korea this morning. At lead, Lee Dong-hyung. Throwing the second stones, we have Lee Jung-chae. At third for the Koreans, Jung Byung-chin. And Team Korea is skipped by Kim So-hyuk. For New Zealand this morning, at lead, we have Warren Dobby Dobson. At second, Anton Hood. At third is Simon Neilson. And Team New Zealand is skipped by Scott Becker. Well, just taking a look at how the round robin rounded out. It's China on top at 8-0, Japan at 7-1. You see New Zealand, Korea at 5-3, and both will play this morning. Chinese Taipei, Hong Kong, Australia, Kazakhstan, and Qatar not making it through to the playoffs this year, but I'll try again next year. The playoffs, Anne.
Yeah, and this is how we got to where we are. The semifinals. China bested Korea 9-6, and Japan over New Zealand 8-3. China and Japan will play in the gold medal game later on this afternoon. Right now, it's all about Korea and New Zealand.
Well, it was China and Japan at the top of the standings through the round robin. They make it to the gold medal game. So, I mean, it makes sense in a way.
Yeah, and that round robin, it's a full round robin. Each team plays all of the others, and it is kind of nice when it works out that the winners of the round robin make it into the gold medal game. But New Zealand and Korea did all they could to unseat those top seeds, and weren't able to come up with the wins.
We'll see. Korea played the red stone this morning. New Zealand with yellow. New Zealand also has the last stone advantage as we get started, so it is Lee Dong-hyung to throw the first stone here. In Korea, we've seen them be pretty aggressive in their games, at least with the placement of the first stone of every game. Usually not coming into the house, either throwing a center guard or a corner guard, depending on whether they have that last stone or not. And again, we'll see them throw a center guard to get the ball rolling. So nothing too open here in the first end, and New Zealand not allowed to remove that guard from play as it sits in the free guard zone. So Warren Dobson, he'll try and come right around the center guard.
Yeah, and Warren Dobson has had an extraordinary tournament. He is the veteran player on the New Zealand team, but he has performed very consistently all week. One of the top performing leads in the field.
Simon, just try and bury him a wee bit.
And I give the slight edge on the head-to-head matchup on leads to Warren Dobson as we go into this game.
Nice. He's got beautiful touch, Warren Dobson. Draw weight. It's usually spot on for him. And draw weight again is perfect. Just didn't quite curl up for him. So the yellow sits partially open for Lee Dong-hyung to follow with a controlled weight.
And just enough weight to get that rock out of the rings. Lovely weight to open this game. Now this is where periodically Warren can struggle. These takeouts, he is, as you said, a master of the draw weight. Really, really one of the best in the field.
Oversweep, sorry, Dobby. Sweep it tight, but it's just hanging there with any weight already.
So a little discussion of the ice surface and how it's moving from Skip Becker.
Lee Jong-chae will try to maneuver the ice here and get the roll. Ice conditions have been great all week. Been swinging really well on draws, running straight on the takeouts, but most curlers prefer that. It makes it true and easy to read. And the speed's been very consistent from the very start to the end of the week, really. As we see Anton Hood, the youngest player in the men's competition. Only curled 5 years, playing for a medal here.
Yeah, and he's had a really, really outstanding performance. The being here, playing in this kind of a venue for the first time, really, in this big of an arena, and to know that he's so young, it means good things for New Zealand as the game progresses all around the world.
Did you hear that comment from Scott Becker saying anything up weight runs pretty straight already? Talking to him after the semi-final, he said he couldn't quite figure that out. The up weight seemed to run just a bit straighter than it did at the start of the week, but it's something they should know by now. And all they really need to do is move the brush in. As we see the rules of play, that 5 stone free guard zone very much in play this season. And because it's a playoff game, they have to play 8 ends minimum, but the game is scheduled for 10, and we certainly hope we get at least that. The teams have 38 minutes of thinking time, and they can call 1 60-second timeout whenever they like.
And just to explain that thinking time, so the sport of curling is a little unique in this sense, that your clock runs while you're not actively playing, but while you are communicating with each other, your clock runs.
And more or less when you kick out that hack, your
clock
clock's going to stop crossing that T line. So it's not really penalizing teams for playing draws that take longer than playing the upweight shots.
Yeah, it was a nice switch in the subtleties of the rule and the game management.
Get the sense that the game is just always improving, which is good to see.
Okay.
And now we've got a set of staggered guards in front of the rings.
Yeah. You're just throwing top house there, mate. Top 2.
We'll get our first look at Simon Neilson Also very young, 21 years old.
Where?
Yeah, and I believe he is the linchpin here. He is going to be the swing player for Team New Zealand in this game. If they want to win the bronze medal, Simon Neilson is going to have to play one of his strongest games of the week. He's been a bit of a streaky player this week. Great games followed by some softer play. And if this opening shot is any indication,
Nice weight, buddy.
starting with a pretty great shot, half buried, half hidden behind staggered center guards. It's a good sign for the Kiwis.
He was really good in midweek, but struggled in the last couple of games, Simon Neilson. So hopefully he can bring out his best stuff this morning. Gangneung Chin looking to open things up here a little bit. Actually gets that red stone into the top 12.
Shot.
But an early chance for New Zealand to line 2 here.
Yeah, quite like that. Just exactly the same weight you just threw.
So Becker doing some math there before he sets the broom down, trying to remember how the shots move exactly in this spot, where the break point is.
Whoa! Stay close.
Quite a bit of rotation on the throw from Neilson. Might see the draws are just a bit straighter for him.
Yeah, and you can see the amount of rotation. He puts quite a bit of rotation on the rock. It's really nice thing. They don't want to sit too much deeper. Now it's a pretty natural double takeout that they've left. I think that was a bit of an error. They could have left that stone higher in the rings.
Nice throw, Simon.
Yeah, thinking it was going to go a little bit deeper. They wanted to bring it even deeper, but that call comes too late.
Yeah, and you know, they needed to be on it right here. They're waiting for it to curl, and then all of a sudden they think, let's bring it deep, let's bring it back. Anywhere but there. You can see now that Team Korea, they've got a pretty short and natural double takeout opportunity here.
Kim So-hyuk, the veteran, although only 34. He is the oldest and most experienced player on Team Korea, looking to come off this first yellow. Doesn't make the double, but leaves the shooter in the 8 foot. Less room to score for New Zealand, but still room.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic opportunity, really easy. Just draw one out into the open for New Zealand. Just put one right over here, and they secure.
Don't leave him a slash. That's a much harder shot.
A score 2.
Put that there, and he's hitting it.
Yeah. You're quite wide, eh?
It's only just, it's got to be T-line. Can't give him the double. Back 2 even. Back 2's fine.
Yeah, we on broom.
Nah, it's a lot of ice. Yeah.
Pretty straight.
Back 2's fine here.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be a wee bit fresher out here. Won't be much, but just a couple of feet, I think.
No. Jeez, it can be 3rd shot here. We just need to leave ourselves something so that we've got the shot for the option for 2. So what do you want, Si? 20?
Here is Scott Becker with his first of skip rocks in this first 10. Chance to line 2. You can see or hear them say, let's put this one back 2. Nothing you'll hear from any other team in the world, I think. And
yeah, they divide the 4 foot up into, they don't call it the top 4 or the back 4. It's 2 feet.
yeah, it's radius rather than diameter. So back 2 is the back of the 4 foot for them. And this one pulling up a bit short, but leaves them sitting 2. And actually, that high, that double angle is not that natural.
Yeah.
For Kim So-hyuk, less than the first one anyway. Not a terrible spot. Earlier in the week, I've seen Kim So-hyuk miss some some of the easier ones, but you've made some of the more difficult shots imaginable.
Yeah, it's almost like if you raise his level of difficulty, he dials in and execute it at a higher rate.
Well, I know players like that. We'll see if he can get this on. There's a little less room, or a little less room for error on this one.
Yeah, but he threw just on this path. They should know how to play it.
Starting to overcurl this one as well. So then hoping for that roll on top, but rolls just a bit too far. That's going to leave an open draw for Scott Becker here to score 2 in the first end. But all of that red forfeit circle to draw to, just play the draw as well. You'd think you'd be close with this one.
Wee bit more. Yep, we want to use the whole of that red button.
So do we just cut
Same weight, you boys just put it on the pin. But don't jump it because you'll hang it out there, okay? Go only if you really have to.
Good communication from Scott Becker, saying if you have to go, don't go too hard at the beginning. You might just kill the line.
Yeah, and we've seen that a couple of times. Just sweeping real hard for weight at the beginning.
Go if you have to.
Holds that rock just too straight at the end.
Last stone here.
Same
It
track.
is a bit wide. Scott Becker telling the young lads, it's all yours. Just bring it onto the tee line and should be good. This one settling down nicely. Back 4, or should I say back 2. 2 points for New Zealand. Great start for them. And that is a score, 2-0, with 9 ends to go in this exciting bronze medal game.
Step boys.
T. Yeah, whoa, whoa. T, back 2.
Whoa. Back 2. T.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
That looks hot from here.
Yeah, back 2.
Yeah, he's coming
Top
down
6.
now. He's doing a fresher track.
Top 6.
Okay. Yep. He's going to cross that line. So bring him
Warren
right back
Dobson gets the second end started
nice
here for
weight,
New
Dobby.
Zealand. They scored 2 in that first end, so you know what's coming from Korea. They'll throw a corner guard here. Try and score a 2 back. What is the advantage of throwing a corner? And why not a center guard? And why not hit the stone?
Well, I mean, you could do any of those things, but the advantage of the corner guard is it pulls the play away from the center of the rings. When you have that last stone advantage, you want that center part of the field of play clear, so that at the end of the end, if you need to access it, it's not as complicated. And then a rock out there on the side, you can see it on the top left corner of your screen. That's where you ultimately want to hide your counting stones.
Tight.
Line's nice.
Tight.
So clearly New Zealand there. Trying to do the opposite here, bringing the play to the center line.
Can you get him to my brush? Mid tight. Yep.
Big sweep from
Get him over.
the young guys here.
Bring him
Just
back
trying to drag this as
hard.
far as possible.
Okay.
Bit shy on the weight there from Dobson.
Yeah, just a little bit, but he lines it up nicely. So you can see right there, it's directly behind that guard. It is a little long. Korea should have no trouble getting around it to be able to hit it out, tap it back, freeze to it.
And this is where the weight sensitivity comes into play. You just overthrow it a little bit, run quite straight. So making sure to throw soft enough weight here to to bend around the guard, but this one's actually curled a bit too much. Clips the center guard, but does open up that yellow and the forefoot, and it's almost another corner guard for Korea.
Yeah, it's almost a corner guard, but it does block the access on that right side of the sheet to the forefoot.
Let's jump on over to sheet C. Hong Kong plays China in the women's bronze medal game.
Line's pretty tight.
Neilson with her first stone, or last stone rather, of this first end, trying to make the double, just slips underneath, and that is a steal of 1 for Hong Kong.
Make sure he's past that one.
1-0 through one end of play.
No, that's okay. It's okay. It's all about line on that one. Okay, just a bit soft on those two boys. Just need them a bit shorter.
So
Nice
Anton
weight in,
Hood
nice shot.
put up the center guard. It's good enough that Korea is going to peel it away. Try and clear it out.
Yup. Yup.
Yep.
Hard.
Run back here, actually. And that's just going right past, and that is not the tolerance for that shot.
Yeah, that's absolutely disastrous. And you can see New Zealand, as quickly as possible, says, all right, let's go. Let's put another one right in the top of the rings.
Yeah, didn't remove the shot stone there, didn't open it up either.
And created a small stagger that just makes life a little bit more complicated even for Korea.
Hold him out there, Dobby.
And now Anton Hood needs the adjustment.
4-2. Whoa. We're freezing.
That looks way up.
Yeah.
Back two. Yep.
A little heavy from Anton Hood. Not sure if they want to bring it around or hope for it to settle before they get to the yellow here. Don't want to bounce out in the
Okay,
open.
mate, let them sweep you down to it.
But not too
Nice
bad
shot.
there.
No, and there's so much movement in the ice. You can see as it starts to curl, as the hard part of the curling starts happening, the weight comes off those shots.
되게 두껍게 맞아야 돼. 괜찮아.
We have the coach up here, Lee Jae-ho. Quite a lot of equipment on the bench. We've been seeing more and more of that through the years. Cameras, laptops,
Yep.
all sorts of devices to
Yep.
track the games and
와야 돼,
collect
계속.
the data.
계속.
Oh, the sweeper's working so hard to hold the line. Are they going to get by that top guard?
They're not, but this time at least they do open it up a bit more. Trying to spin that redstone onto the rings, but it's not getting there. So corner guards are in place for Korea, but they certainly have some stones to remove before they can access them. As we see Peter Becker.
Mid. Whoa. Mid. Mid long.
Whoa!
Mid only.
Represented
one's
New
got
Zealand
positive handle. It
a
looks like
number
it
of times
curl a wee bit.
himself.
Mid only.
This one's all about line.
Mid only.
An over curl, ready? Yep. Yep, hard. Yep. Okay. Oh, he's left him a teaser.
We can get the commentary from Scott Becker.
Wee bit more weight, Si.
Left him a teaser. It
Nice
means
throw.
there's a port through which Korea can attempt this double takeout.
That looks
알면
really,
저거 열어야
really
될 것
snug.
같은데.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
Looks like they might try and play the double here on the two yellows, two guards.
Yeah, they just need to create some space now in front of the ring so that they can access.
Oh, that is not a great result. Too thin and leaves a yellow guard covering the stones in the house.
Yeah, and an opportunity for Simon Neilson to throw this guard again at a couple of feet in weight. Block the center line. It is
Line's tight.
a real good
Keep it,
situation
Dobby.
for New Zealand right now.
Tight 6.
Whoa, 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 no, we
Coming in. 6.
Whoa. Okay. Whoa.
Tight 6. 6 tight.
Are we up here?
Tight.
Yeah. No.
Whoa,
Tight.
whoa,
Come
no,
down,
he's
come
gonna do it
down,
himself.
come down.
I don't think.
Whoa.
Looking pretty good here.
Go shots long.
Yeah,
A little bit of
that
panic
boy.
at the start.
Yeah, a little bit of panic in the communication, a little bit of a misjudge, but a great shot for Simon Neilson. He's really started this game very, very strong.
Might have should have maybe even swept that a bit more just to get a bigger piece tucked behind the longer guard. Korea seems to think they can run this back now and get to the stones in the house. See if they can. Yes, they do. But doesn't really remove them, just shuffles them around, leaves another guard again.
Yeah, but it does create a little bit more space there in the forefoot, in the scoring area. Nice run back by Jung.
Also has that red to run back again if needed.
On a great line, bring it back. Is good. Try and block his hit and roll, and also block his draw.
So one of the lineup things that we didn't talk about, Warren
Yeah.
Dodson, who throws the lead
to
stones,
go.
plays vice skip for Scott Becker.
Yeah,
Means he comes
into
down
the-
and
into
holds the
house.
broom on these last
Right,
two
this one can
stones
be
of the
anywhere
end.
on this path,
for
boys.
Team New
It can
Zealand.
be short, it can be, it's all about line on the shot.
Well, Dobson has quite a bit
If
more
it's on a great
experience
line,
than
take it
the
into the top
younger
two.
guys on the team.
Absolute veteran. And you maybe want the younger guys on the brushes.
Yeah,
Touch less, Dobby.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'd rather.
We got a little bit more running time left on their shoulders and whatnot. There's no hiding the fact that it takes a toll on you sweeping for a couple of decades.
It is a very physical job.
Oh, that's only top 6. That's only top 6.
6
Whoa,
tight.
whoa, needs to be in.
6 tight.
Good line now.
Yep. It's fighting. Where is it?
Hard!
Hard.
Coming a little bit wider here, maybe fooling the sweepers a bit.
Tight.
As it settles down, digs in, but
Oh, now there's access for the little hit and roll.
It's curled up a wee bit more than I thought it would. Sorry, Dobby. That's all right. Shouldn't have taken that little less ice.
Just
that's what they were hoping to do, is block that hit and roll. Definitely room. We haven't seen the teams really execute the rolls too well yet. Most of the takeouts have undercurled, except for Kim So-hyuk's double attempts on his intern.
Yeah, but coming off the center line is very different than coming into it.
Yep.
Coming into the center line, the rocks have run a little bit straighter, and if you have at all any outward momentum or up the weight a bit, curl's going to be taken out of the shot.
Yep.
This weight's very nice, control weight.
Whoa, 병신아!
Yep. Whoa.
Kim So-hyuk throws him a little bit softer than some.
Must be close.
That is a great shot. Yeah, he's really good with those.
Beautiful hit and roll, control weight takeout.
I've actually seen him overcurl those shots more than undercurl. A little different from most of the players this week. He dares to throw them soft enough and give the sweepers a chance.
Yeah, and one of the things we'll notice as we go through the game, if you watch his release is very straight. Lots of the releases that we've seen, and that's that moment right when you let go of the handle, has been a little bit of outward momentum, a little bit of back to the broom. He goes directly at the broom and possibly a little soft in. And
Yep.
it's, I think it's served him well here on takeouts.
Not sure if Scott Becker can get shot stone here, but I'll try to put one right in front of the red, make it hard for Korea to get their two.
Yeah, he would love to be able to nuzzle right into the forefoot.
Get the
Once
line
they
for
have the
bump here.
line, go.
they can ever bump this red back for and set shot stone, would be really great, but I think it's just second and actually slips off a bit. Might leave a chance for 2 here after all.
Nearly.
Not easy to get to the nose of the yellow
탑.
and tap it back far enough to get the 2.
안쪽으로 공간 있어요. 차라리 저 어제 잼나 이거 막히기 힘들 것 같아.
인턴 아웃턴.
아웃턴이
아웃턴.
좋을 것 같아.
아, 그냥 핵 정도 와서 그냥 툭 맞고 가야 되겠다.
되긴 돼.
So not thinking that is that possible. We did see Scott Becker throw a very soft weight there, had really good lines, still didn't quite make it over. So thinking he has a better chance at the
Scott
raise.
Becker almost almost loses it, tripping over the hack.
Stepping back where it's safer.
I'm going to go to
Off the
dry
ice.
land. Going to dry land here for this one. And
Well, there shouldn't be too much risk in this one. Can't really see them, especially with hack weight, remove their own red here. It's just threading the needle really and get it down to that yellow thrown by Scott Becker, and that would be for 2. Really tough shot though from Kim So-hyuk.
it's going to come off that center line and just dive over.
Yeah, just a little too soft from Kim So-hyuk. But I think we can confirm that it's 1 red. Dobson having a second look though. 1 red. It is. So single point for Korea. They were chasing the whole end. Shouldn't be too upset with even scoring here. But New Zealand still up by 1 after 2.
센터 가도 투 가도 가야 된다.
We're just posting 1. Like if you, it's going to see if you.
하나, 둘,
계속 와줘.
하나, 둘,
와, 너무 멀지.
하나, 둘.
계속 와. 아, 얘들아, 센터 쪽 붙이자, 그냥. 센터 쪽 붙여. 조금만 더. 돼.
Korea getting us started here in the 3rd end with a center guard. Comes up a bit far from the house. I'll be interested to see if they might even throw a second one.
Yeah, now I think
Annoying spot, even if you just get a wee whip as you're coming around.
with that guard being so high, it really does impact the tactical choices for New Zealand. It's an unusual place. It's a bit of a confusing stone up there. So,
tight mid.
New Zealand has a couple of options. They could just come right in and say, hey, let's try and blank this. Let's keep this a little simple.
It looks pretty hot.
Put one out in the wings.
See, back 2.
Feedback too.
And I think that's what they're going to do.
Bring back.
It may be inadvertent, not the called shot, but
Okay,
I
Joey,
still
hello,
think
mate.
a fine choice for a team that's leading in the scoreboard and in a odd end.
야,
라인만 봐요. 여기 좋아.
타이트.
6. 아, 6.
Oh, we will see
안 걸리면.
아,
another
걸리진
center.
않는데
The
반대로
sweeper's
볼
just
거야.
hoping for this one to settle down. Might just slip into the rings here.
아, 미안.
Actually over curls a bit
And
too.
it slips into the open. That's a pretty tough rock placement for Team Korea.
We'll have another look at the women's bronze medal game, Hong Kong, China. Yilun with a draw this time. It's fully open, just needing to hit the paint. Should be pretty routine. Had to play a tough double on the first one that didn't come off. I think the sweepers here are quite happy. Just lightly cleaning this one, and it will make its way into the forfeit, and that is 2 points for China. They take the lead 2-1.
And our feature game, it's 2 New Zealand sitting in the rings after a really nice soft weight takeout by Warren Dobson.
Yep.
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 계속 와줘, 병준아. 퍼파. 파! 계속 와, 계속 와.
Working to hold the line. Hits and rolls a little farther than they would like.
That's good. That's great. Yeah.
That's probably better to
Ours is
overroll
fine
there.
here. Just bumper.
Might see New Zealand not make the roll back and leave the yellows grouped.
Whoop. Clean. Yep. Yep, hard. Yeah.
Starting to really move
Yep,
here
hard. Hard
for
a
Anton
piece.
Hood.
Time for a piece. Okay.
Too much.
Nice throw in.
Gets the red, but rolls out.
Probably a bit soft on it.
Korea now to play the hit on the ill.
Umar?
This is when Kim So-hyuk just would have wished that center guard was in a better spot.
Yeah. Now it's almost like this end is going to be blanked. I mean, at this point, there is a guard up front, but it is so long, so far away from the scoring area that and the way this ice curls, you can get right around it and take anything out. And with the over curl, the hit and roll out.
Surprised?
A little surprised with this call. They've got a 1-point lead. This is an awkwardly long center guard that Anton Hood's coming around. But being aggressive is working for Team New Zealand. But this rock looks incredibly light.
Yeah,
Now, this is the disaster part. What was just a okay guard for Korea. Now there's double guards that they can come around, and there will be no way to hit.
Just soft.
You see the great finish here, just as soon as this passes that guard. Philly Bird even popping out the other side. But yeah, I think you might see some teams just peel that center guard and think, okay, well, let's take our blank. There's not too much going for us here. We got the 1-point lead. We're quite happy to wait one more.
Yeah, and I think really once the first rock of the end for New Zealand, Warren Dobson's stone slipped into the rings. The blank was the way they were going to go. And then, they had a soft setup for 2 and a hit and roll out. The blank was back on. And New Zealand didn't take it. But with that, Korea didn't quite capitalize on their opportunity either. So,
come this way. Yeah. If we don't, they will.
Well, I've liked the New Zealand's aggression this week, especially when they're playing the...
No, I like that. You've got your draw weight size.
Well,
top house is good.
what you consider maybe the top teams like China, Korea, Japan, but New Zealand's not running scared and making it easy for them. They play aggressive and try and put pressure on them and force mistakes, and it's been working well for them.
Yeah, I think if you were to have seeded this event coming in, I mean, you would definitely have put China, Japan, and Korea in the 1, 2, and 3 spot. New Zealand came out of the round robin as the 3rd seed. They have really played well all week.
Line's real good.
And,
Hard,
you know,
come
we're
on.
seeing something that's a
It's gotta be in. It's gotta be in.
good
Hard. Like
opportunity. The team of the future
Right,
is now
Back here's
for New
fine, bud.
Zealand.
Simon Neilson coming up a bit short as well. And essentially another centre guard and a stagger as well.
It's gotta be in. It's gotta be in. Hard. All the way
Not
back.
shot stone, so 2 big mistakes here from New Zealand.
Yeah, and it gives Korea a second chance to get around now 3 guards.
웨이트 마.
They've got 1 in the rings.
룸이야, 룸.
8.
룸.
라인 괜찮아. 웨이트만 봐. 조용아.
형.
조용아. 조용아 계속 와. 더 와야 돼. 8까지 와야 돼.
헐.
Pretty good there. You see,
See about half of it, I think, from the hack.
struggling to bury really Gangneung Chin, throwing even his draws very inside out with lots of rotation. So you see the first one under curling, the second one, even though they took less ice, didn't quite make it there. It's pretty buried, but
Catch
that's
that top guard fine, but they're so long.
it's not a
just come
curl
around
for a
there,
draw
you
on
just
ice
pushing
that's
that through.
swinging pretty good.
I'll play you tight.
And as you pointed out, you know, just a
Play heck
slightly
up.
different release than his skip. So managing that, setting the target for that, choosing the weights, it's going to be very different from skip to from vice skip to skip for Team Korea.
Bumper. Bumper.
Simon Neilson now
Bumper.
trying
Got
to
a
get
piece,
to
but
this
it's a wee bit too heavy.
red stone top 8.
Get over.
They bring it past, get
Get
the back
over.
one. No. Well, it
Okay.
just moves it off the top 8 and back a tee. That's
Leave
going to
us
help New
something
Zealand.
used.
Yeah, that really does. And
Bit heavy there, Si.
Korea, their
Good try.
3rd chance around these guards. They have got to make this.
It'll be interesting to see how this draw is going to run for Kim So-hyuk. Not taking much more ice than
안 보여도 돼.
for their 3rd here. Wouldn't be surprised to see maybe his draw finish. Maybe even nibble that center line at the end.
This one, he's a bit top. We're trying to sink one round in there.
A little bit softer, a little bit less rotation.
일곱. 라인 좋아.
Still positive,
Yeah, it is.
just not too positive.
Yeah, it's a really good throw.
여덟. 여기만. 티.
Might have overcooked this one.
피노.
안 돼, 안 돼.
It slips just behind the tee line.
미안.
Did finish.
Okay.
Great line, just a couple feet.
Yeah, it's a
heavy.
beautiful line. It's completely hidden because remember, there's that stone at that high guard. You've got to almost pretend that isn't there, though. That shouldn't come into
Giving
play.
into the
The way the ice curls.
Wonder if the releases might fool the sweeper sometimes. You go from the 3rd playing the draw to your skip. It just looks softer coming out the hand.
Looks softer,
Yeah, it's
so they
just
think they
normal
need to sweep.
Maybe.
It's just got to be
Yeah,
down
it's
on
possible.
the top 2, boys.
And that visual
right in front of his
acuity,
rock. If we can ever freeze it, it'd be lovely.
For the sweepers is so important. Being able to judge and read the release of your
Don't jump it
teammates.
too early. Needs to,
You should
takes a
you
long
should
time
know
before it bends back.
the releases of your teammates quite well, but it's a pretty new team, this, so certain kinks like that is something that you might work out over time.
Yeah, and you know, and to think that you've had this shot so many times down this path and you haven't executed it yet, it almost builds a little bit of pressure for Team Korea. You know, and now the pressure shifts. How can New Zealand handle this same spot?
Scott Becker to the rescue here. Really waiting for the line. Sweepers wanted to go, weren't allowed to, and that is why this one's going to pull up a bit short. Just had to go earlier.
Yeah, so that's something that this
You guys got to go. If you think it's short, you've just got to go.
they have to. Sweepers have to ignore.
Yep.
If you had to be in the rings, you had to be down in there, or they needed to be really communicating how short that rock was going to be.
Yeah, the
to the skip in the third.
The young lads are
택배
just
하라 그래.
listening a bit
어쩔 수
too
없어.
much to the
만약에 이렇게 받고 서버리면 2점 주잖아. 지금
to the older
선물이.
guys on New Zealand
아니
team.
우리가 아예 이쪽으로 들어와야 돼. 내 더블이잖아. 내 더블 줘버릴까? 각이 좀 생각보다 두꺼워야 되는데. 우리가 아예 1번으로 오든지 아니면 여기까지 와야 돼.
오케이, 여기 1번.
근데 들어오는 길이라서 상관없을 거야.
오케이.
여기 1번, 플랜 B가 여기까지 오자.
여기,
무조건 얘한테 얘기해야 돼.
여기가 오는 게 좋을 것 같은데.
여기 먼저.
이 탭도 맞고 더블도 1점이고.
오케이.
오케이.
여기도 괜찮다.
네, 1번. 넉넉히 잡고.
크게 돌아 들어와 여기.
네. 하나.
조금만 더 잡자.
파4. 오케이.
위에도 괜찮아. 뒤로만 가지 말자. 이쪽 웨트 잘 모르지? 죽으면서 돌을 것 같은데.
네, 좀 죽어 이쪽. 8번까지 갔을 거야. 앞에 되니까 죽어.
Team Korea sitting nicely for their skip's last stone.
Yep. Yep.
얘들 좋아.
Chance to put extreme pressure on the Kiwis.
웨트 봐.
Yep. 오. 라인 좋아.
웨트가 되네. 뒤로 가지 말라 얘들아 제발.
He's his top four.
여기만 오면 돼.
Pretty tight to that yellow. Maybe a tad too deep, but that takes away the end off, the hit and roll off the wide red, really. And I'm not sure if you can draw there for one. Might have to play the yellow bump.
몇초였어?
Just draw to give up one. Is there room?
I think there might be just enough room, but this is, you have to throw it absolutely perfect weight.
Giving it to you guys to get it on the pin, right? Tap there on the other side? No, you just, right there you get shot. Put it in your eyes. Sorry?
Not sure if that
Wee bit
red
more.
is
Yep.
biting the pin or if it's
I think it's
free.
just
We'll go
behind.
hard at the end, Dobby. Yep.
Can agree with you on that one, actually.
Yeah, Becker said just if we get right to it, we're count. So
Yeah, so just sweep for a slight nudge on the nose.
yeah, to make sure.
Scott Becker preferring the draw here. There's
Can't be top two. It's
more room for error. You play the tap on yellow. You don't get the line. You're giving up a bundle. Here at least you should cut them down if you're close. Big sweep from
Yeah, the guys are going really hard.
the young guys past the yellow all the way down, starting to look pretty good. Do they get that little nudge to cover the pin? I think so. And it's one yellow. What a great team shot. What a good throw by Scott Becker. And what a good sweep by the young guys here. This time they were just heads down the whole way to bring it to the button. And that is one for New Zealand. Lifesaver. And they're still in the lead now, 3-1 after 3 ends of play here in the Gangneung Curling Center.
Top 4. 4.
A wee bit tight, keep it moving. Side, go close side, he's going to overcurl. Okay, tight, whoa, tight. Bring him tight then, bring him tight. Yep.
Warren Dobson,
Okay, Dobby.
not quite himself
No,
this
you're
morning yet. A few mistakes early on, was wanting this one in the house, but at least it does end up in a nice spot for a center guard tight to the rings.
Yeah, it is a controlled position.
There was a good chance New Zealand would throw the top 4 and throw the centre guard on
top.
it anyway. So,
Yeah. This is just reversing the order, probably.
so if Dobson makes a good draw around here, it's all good.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it might be easier to put the one on the top 4 and then guard, but it's also good to learn how to get around a guard. So you can see it in a couple of different ways. And we're gonna test Warren Dobson right here. It's now time to come right around, throw a little bit more weight.
It's swinging enough, so it shouldn't be a problem.
It looks a lot more positive.
Sometimes you talk about key shots, and it's a shot for a big score, but that shot for 1 point for New Zealand in the previous end, that could be a real key shot for this game.
Yep, now.
Yeah, that a 2-point lead versus a tie game. I mean, that is
Okay, Dobby. Nice, thank you.
that's so significant. And then we saw that tournament accuracy for Dobson at 88%. He continues his excellent play. Look at that rock placement.
Yeah, all forgotten about now that he came up short with that first one, because that's the setup they were looking for.
Yeah, and so tournament accuracy here for Lee, right there. These guys are neck and neck throughout the tournament. The leads really set the table. They decide how well you can stick to your strategic plan for the end. You've got to get by working hard. Looks like they're going to just rub. Now they're allowed to move those stones around up there. They just can't take them out. That free guard zone. And that's the area, the white area of play between the hog line and the scoring area.
Just tap that back.
Well, come the out turn if I'm heavy.
Just mids, fine.
So playing home here, like they did in the second end, it's a similar setup for New Zealand. They get to throw a guard, and it's a bit cluttered there along the centre line for Korea, so they'll be chasing a bit here.
Okay.
At least if Anton Hook can get this in the right spot.
Yeah, come in then.
Yep. Get we roll off this one. Whoa.
Starting to overcurl, so trying to sweep for a little redirect off their own yellow here.
Okay.
That's fantastic communication
Nice
to
line
make the
there.
most of a shot right at the end. It wasn't exactly how you drew that up, but where it landed, that's exactly where they wanted it. They played it off the tick. Great communication. And now 5 rocks have been thrown. The clearing shots are allowed.
Lee Jung-jae really needs to make a double when it's asked for, and here you go. Gets the double, rolls onto the rings.
Tucked behind his corner guards. Great shot.
Let's see, makes a double and just slips on through in behind cover, like you said, and that is top notch.
Gets the little kiss off the back of his own stone. His sweeper's ready there, waiting to help it into the rings.
Anton Hood follows up with a double as well. And all of a sudden, it's a bit more tidy.
Yeah, it is a bit more tidy, but look at this. We've got a pretty textbook setup. We've got a centerline guard for the Kiwis and a corner guard for the Koreans. Now it's about getting around that corner guard, pulling the play from the center line out to the wings.
Does it ever make it more difficult to play a draw if you've just played an upweight hit?
I think, you know, as a player, you've got to just know the draw weights, the hit weights. You've got to know, and part of the game that these players at this level make look so easy is that they can go from the big weight hit to the beautiful touch weight draw just like that. You got to think about it almost in terms of like the golfer, right? He's starts the whole
Hey,
of
corner
golf
up.
with the
Have a go running
with
it
the
back.
driver.
If you don't make it,
And if he hits it far enough, he gets
Help.
to use the lob wedge.
Then the run back here, and Scott Becker said if you just roll off, it's okay.
yep.
It's pointing towards the boards, though. I would be tempted to maybe try and catch this on the inside, and if anything, maybe roll towards the center, maybe leave a staggered center guard. That could be an out for New Zealand.
Yeah, and that's just a subtle. I think teams learn that the way to miss on that one was just on the inside versus just on the outside. Because if there were two center guards, you might think that the Koreans would get a little nervous, maybe change their tactics, maybe be tempted to come underneath them as opposed to put a corner guard back.
Yeah, if they have there, then come a little deep. New Zealand comes around, plays a freeze. Get out of the end. You see Korea trying to replace this corner guard, but not quite finishing for them.
Yeah, when we say get out of the end, because remember, the Koreans have that last stone advantage. Their goal here is to score 2 points. Whenever you've got that last stone, you want to score 2 or more. And
Oh, no, keep your weight up. Sorry, Throw control.
New Zealand's goal, hold the Koreans to a single point or steal. I mean, I think with the lead, holding them to a single point is a fine goal.
Gotta be careful here in New Zealand. Do not want to over curl and just chip that red corner guard onto the rings.
Do they have the back one?
Ah, great throw.
That was the plan.
Okay.
Too nice.
But it was a good call by Scott Becker in the end, because he said throw board, wait, and at the very last second he said, you know what, throw control. Because the softer weight you throw, the more likely it is for you to chip that guard into the net.
Do not want to leave them sitting two after you throw a takeout.
I kind of get the feel Simon Neilson had that in the back of his head there, because ended up overthrowing it a bit.
Sweepers are striving for every inch here. And they do drag it into the 12-foot, but it sits wide open.
Just by removing that stone for New Zealand, the Koreans had to play a completely different path to get around that corner. And sometimes that's enough to force an error, just make your opponent play a different shot.
Trying to sort of hit and roll half behind the guard, or right behind the guard, obviously.
Get rid of its first ball.
You can offer him the outside edge of it on the other side. Let's make sure they hit first.
Throw.
Yep. Hard.
Going right away on this. This looks close to over curling. Oh, and they just get it. Great sweep
Well, if it clips the top one and rolls across, so.
from Hood and Neilson.
Let's go Becker hoping to get an even bigger tickle there to get a little round the horn action.
It's a little dangerous, though. You get more than a little tickle. You've left 2 Korean stones in the rings, and they've got the hammer.
이쪽 어땠지?
조금 뻗었어, 되게 뻗었어.
뻗었다고?
잘 돌진
Need
않고.
to draw around the center guard here for Korea. Pretty tough to get around the corners, so last chance for Kim So-hyuk to set up for 2 here. Skip's deuce will be required. Scoring 2 with the skip's 2 stones.
좀만 살려보자. 7 웨이트만. 라인 접어.
웨트 봐, 름.
동행이가 확실하게 동행이가 와도 돼.
Hanging out there for now.
Yeah, it's gonna start to go.
재영아 좀만 더 돌려줘. 예.
And there the curl comes.
재영아 좋아지고 있어. 재영아 좀만 더
더
올려.
올려.
좀만 더. 좀만 더 반만 더 반만 더 반만 더 반만 더.
That is a good shot. It's a great sweep. Well thrown from the Korean skip.
Have a crack at it. Yeah.
I can't see too much here, Becker, but I'm sure I'll be happy to just remove it even.
We've been more right, Dobby.
Yeah, so at the end, this finish, sweeping hard to carry that rock. And they want to carry it in distance, and then the curl will come just by how much further you're moving it in distance. Pop this one out a little bit. It should come back at the end. The weight is very controlled.
Does he have enough weight and enough of the red to kill it? Yes, I think so. Dobson, a little bit of sweeping here. Very controlled shot. That looked too easy.
Yeah, it's a beauty from Becker.
Leaves them sitting two, I believe.
Nice end again, boys.
Yeah, if that stone on the top of the rings is biting, and we think it is, this is a hit and stick for one for South Korea.
That is a huge difference to keep that shooter in the house and get the force rather than the blank. You know, another skip might have played that safer just to remove it, but Scott Becker really wanting to hang around to get the force. And Kim So-hyuk is indeed just playing in Noel's head here to score a single point. Coming down nicely here, Noel's hit. That is 1 point for Korea. New Zealand successful at forcing Korea twice so far in the game. They'll still have a lead. This time it's a 1 point lead, 3-2, and they'll have last on advantage when we return for the fifth end.
Play it by ear, see what happens.
다섯.
넷, 다섯 괜찮아?
라인은 넉넉해. 라인 많아. 그냥 와 계속
Fifth end
다섯까지.
underway here, and the men's bronze medal game of the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2018. Good forehand so far.
It's been a great game so far. it's a tight score line. The slight edge to New Zealand in the play this first half so far, and that's what you see on the scoreboard, a slight edge. It's a single point lead. New Zealand has the last stone advantage.
That looks pretty nice and clean. Keep it clean.
We've seen a couple of different tactics out of New Zealand on lead's first stone.
Whoa, that looks deeper than two. He's still out there.
They've thrown the corner guard.
Bring it back here. Yep.
They've put one in the rings on the wings.
Bring back.
And now,
Come on, boys.
coming
You
around.
Make that call. You just got to make that call early. You think it's T? Give me that line so I can bring him back. Yep.
정아 인턴 별로야.
괜찮아. 인턴 좀 잘 도니까.
인턴이 좋을 것 같아요. 인턴으로 가야 돼.
아웃턴 할게.
So with that stone just behind the tee line, Korea's lead has a chance. Freeze one down right on top.
괜찮아.
열!
세면 안 돼.
열하나! 죽어야 돼요.
라인이 아니야.
It's looking a little heavy and it's tracking on the wide side.
열! 죽고 있어. 열!
It's the same spot where Koreans struggled to finish on the draws 2 ends ago. It seems like if you're a little bit wider on this path, it hangs.
Yeah, and also if you're their weight, I mean, if you know the brushers never touched that stone, it went behind the tee line to the back 4 and doesn't curl at all.
Only for weight!
Now this one, they say it's a little soft,
Lots of room.
but still tons of room.
Wee bit at the end now. Yep. Just a bit follow the brush there, Dobby.
Yeah, just hang out there.
Better communication though from the sweepers this time. Being quite firm
Yes.
with the Scot saying we have to sweep, and I think
Yeah.
that's what he wants to hear sometimes.
Yeah. If you want top 4.
Yeah. Because even though you have the skip or vice skip say no, never, no, never, it doesn't necessarily mean never. Sweep. It really depends on the weight, and so you have to be have that same very clear message back saying no, we have to go, we have to sweep, and the result of both communications sometimes leads to good shots. Let's jump on over to Hong Kong, China again. It was a really great draw by Zhang Yilun to get to the button on her last one to force a tough shot here.
Catch the guard, fine. Give us a couple of corners.
Yes. Quick.
Big sweep to get it past the guard. But this one's going to over curl. He's hoping to get to that yellow. So that's going to be a steal of 1 for China. They lead it 4-1 now, scoring in the last 3 ends of this game.
Whoa, yep. Whoa.
Looking to get to the inside here, Anton Hood.
Just going to go right past the edge.
Just
That's
about.
a good try, Ant. That's a nice shot. Thank you.
Good weight. Weight.
Yeah, they really wanted to wait on that. Almost got the perfect curl. Just ticked themselves behind the tee line, and now Korea gonna try and freeze down. If that had curled a centimeter more.
라인만.
Seems to swing a bit more coming this way.
Absolutely. This one is going to have a tough time getting past that guard. And they just do. Do they have the weight to come down and freeze? Look at this, it over curls.
Keeping the brushes down there to keep the line onto the yellow, but does over curl. New Zealand sitting 1, and they can follow.
Yep, you're just drawing in. Top 2's fine. Frozen on there is great. So if you're not quite frozen, if you're not quite in there, they're just doing this.
So the top 2, the Galapagos Islands language,
That's fine too.
the unique development from New Zealand, a language all their own.
Whoa then, whoa!
See how this moves here in front on Hood. Scott Becker's thinking it's a bit wide at the moment. I think it's going to probably make its move if we got the right weight here.
Sweeper said tee right at release. Weight looks close.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yep.
Look at that. Much more finish on this side of the sheet. That's
What
clear.
a shot.
It's perfect.
That's a beauty from Anton Hood.
perfect freeze from the youngest player in the field. Korea's just going to have to follow here.
There is some space in there. I mean, and it's the way it curls, you know you can get in there.
It's a parallel park.
뒤로도 괜찮아.
티!
여기까지 최소 여기까지.
정재야, 라인 아니야.
아, 웨이트 한번 볼게.
뒤로 가면 안 돼. 얍, 차라리 있으면.
Trying.
얍!
Yeah, it really is.
맞아. 와, 더 와.
And
더.
oh, you wanted a parallel parking job? Was that enough room? Did they hit the spot perfectly?
That is pretty good there.
Just playing here.
Back four.
Gangneung.
You're literally coming down
Follows
just to
up on
tap
the
that
head.
one on the nose. Move it to there and lie there. This is mixed double stuff. Here's fine.
Scott Becker should know mixed doubles quite well. He's played that a few times himself. Mixed doubles, of course, being the newer discipline in the curling game, making its debut actually at the Olympic Games in this very venue 8 months ago.
Whoa.
Back toe.
And of course, in that discipline, there's lots of rocks in play around the forefoot.
Yeah, all of the play goes to the center for the most part in mixed doubles. And that is what his reference is. All of the play has been gone to the center on this end.
Yep.
They've got to go for weight.
Yep, hard. Real good. Get the wee bump. Okay, that's good there.
Not bad. We're hoping to move that red, but
Yes, right on the nose of the red one. The red one is kind of in jail,
Nice there,
and
Si.
you'll see it coming in. At some point, there's only room for one. Finishes up.
angle's not too bad on the run back though on the Yellowstone top 12 for New Zealand.
얘 맞고 가는 건 별로.
Yeah,
네.
이따가 가야지. 지금 막자고.
you got to think.
얘는
That
없을 것
Yellowstone
같아서.
in the top of the 12-foot is looking very dangerous for Korea.
지금 이거 밀려내면 우리가 좀 난감해질 것 같은데. 돌아서 안쪽으로 가자. 돌아서 안쪽까지 안 돼 이거.
그렇게까지 안 될 것 같아. 3분의 패드 하나 거의. 3분의 1. 오케이.
And they're going to guard it actually.
위험한 거 얘가 위험한 거.
둘,
I think
셋.
it's much easier for New Zealand to get to the shot stone by playing that yellow in the top 12. So we're going to leave that intern side open.
잠시만.
둘, 셋. 라인만 봐요.
많아.
Looking to cross the center line here.
기다려줘.
Yeah, it will get over there.
라인만.
If your weight's even close, it'll get all the way over there.
정지야 밖으로 더 빼. 정지야 밖으로 더 빼.
성대.
정지야 더 빼.
Good shot there.
샷.
So Scott Becker wants to come on the intern here and move things around or open things up in the front.
Yeah, the double peel on those front guards, you might get lucky and
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out
go
where.
across the face.
We caught a piece of it with bumper and spun the shooter.
How much can you see of that yellow?
Where's the edge of it?
Sorry?
Where's the edge of it?
I'm seeing a whole
What do you mean there?
Yeah.
A third?
Yeah, right.
I don't think
Heck.
that gets you much.
Try and get these moving. Try and get some action on this one back here.
Yep.
Get yours spun. We need yours to spin out here, Dobby. You get on that shooter.
Okie dokie.
Play
Okie
tight to that
dokie.
guard. You catch that guard is fine, okay?
Yeah.
Well, because that yellow they're
Heck
looking
up.
to play is half checked on their own yellow. If they catch it high side, a lot of the momentum is going to be lost on their own yellow rock. They're not going to be able to move the red very far. So the closer you can get to nose here, the better.
Trying to hold the line. They'd love to stay on that side of the center line. Looks like they're going to get the guard here.
Okay.
It's just moving more this way. So not maybe taking enough ice for it. Well, There's an in-off now after red on the left as well.
Yeah.
Potentially.
똑같이 가득 차야지.
There's nothing else.
센터 딱 센터 다 물면 될 것 같아.
조금만 안쪽.
Korea,
Yeah,
they
이쪽은
need to
살짝
protect
보여줘서
that
상관없어.
little stone, that one stone, completely covering the button. It is surrounded by enemy rocks.
넷.
오케이 라인 좋아.
라인만
셋.
넷, 셋,
셋.
라인만 라인 진짜 좋아. 병진이가 와줘. 얍.
동영이가 가야 될 것 같아.
아 병진이가 와야 되는데. 야 이거 동영. 헐.
Going hard to
좀만 더 오면
drag
돼.
this
좀만 더 가야
rock.
돼.
They want to split center line.
샷, 샷.
And that was a great shot.
스윗.
It's a real good block.
Oh, I tell you what.
Does he have the double peel now?
You could ever skinny that.
I sort of knows we make it.
I think this is the shot for this one.
Yeah. Can't get to that one, can you?
Can't get through there.
Can't get through there, please.
Oh, I'd love to see you try. That would
Nah,
be
you're right,
a
you can't get through. Run
fantastic
that.
shot, but will it curl enough if it goes through that
right on the
port?
nose.
I don't think so.
About the edge. Normal.
Run back's definitely the call here. I think it's
No,
almost
no,
like
our
you
turn,
want to run
Dobby.
this
All right.
slightly on the high side here.
Yes, you want to
Less.
Just skinny
Yes.
that stone top 12 and
It can go back on that angle.
obviously make sure the red
Yeah,
stone
yeah.
doesn't stick around. Just catch half your yellow in the top 4 and
You can hit this side of the nose and you still got a shot.
should be sitting pretty good. Catch the yellow on the right-hand side of Dobby's brush would be perfect.
Whoa, 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 close.
Close. It's a good sign.
Whoa, whoa.
Got a
Get back.
curl.
Well, see, catches it on the other side. So again, like I mentioned, just a lot of the momentum's lost on their own yellow. Didn't get enough action on the red. So I wanted to catch that on the other side of that stone top 4. But still not too bad for New Zealand, but Korea has shot stone.
그냥 여기 딱 얘 딱
Yeah, the situation is quite perilous for the Koreans.
근데 이쪽 끝에만 모이면 큰일 나.
New Zealand sits shot 1, 2, no, 2, 3, and 4.
3점까지 나간다고. 3, 4점.
1번 여기 보고 넉넉하게 여기까지.
Might be worth the time out here for
Yeah.
Korea.
지금 그렇게
Could
스틸 해야 돼.
kill the game if they make a mistake.
거기 붙여도 어차피 때려버리면 3점 나오잖아. 여기 붙여봤자 뭐 할 건데. 때려버리면 그게 3점인데.
Still
무조건
seeing
막아야 돼.
that red stone
지금
on
안
the
되면
left.
4점까지 나가.
A potential shot for Scott Becker as well.
일단 5번도 무조건 막아야 된다, 알겠지?
I'd be quite tempted to maybe come in
어쩔 수
here.
없어. 상대 못하기만 기다려.
Yeah, I think all the way in the rings, nuzzle down into the top of the button area.
셋, 넷.
Yeah, just squeeze in between those two yellows in the top 4.
Yeah, we know how it warps in there. You can even tap the face of the one red on the, the one yellow on the side of the button. You can completely cross.
라인만.
Hey.
셋업.
Not sure if this is a guard or if they are in fact
클리어!
coming in.
바뀔 수도 있어.
Yeah, they talked about being in the
아,
top
너,
house
너, 아니야, 하지 마.
in the
괜찮아.
rings.
벌써 막혔어.
Maybe to
this
take
is-
away the run back on the center guard. But
This
this is definitely a guard.
Definitely a guard.
동영아.
So
샷.
Shot.
either you run the center guard back or you maybe come off that red on the wing.
Yeah, the red on the wing, if you know how to throw it out there.
But then that's going to lose. I think it's that one.
No, you're still getting one.
Well, it's that. I mean, you make the perfect shot and you've potentially got.
I like. You got more margin on this run.
hit there.
Right on the inside. Yeah. On the run.
I mean, this shot's almost for the win if you make it perfect.
Yes, it is.
No, this is worth 5.
Yeah, I'm just wondering because you got just a bit more margin on this one. Well, how about this run? Because anywhere.
No, because there's no gap between ours. And if you do make it, you're going to only get best you can do is a 2. The moment he steals 1, this is the difference between a 4 or 5 and a dropping a 1.
Turn.
Right?
Probably can get more than 2.
Bit more, Dobby.
On the run, I think you
Yeah,
can get
right on
more
the edge
than
of the
2.
rock.
I think at least 3.
3.
Yeah.
Obviously, a couple of yellows might go, but like Scott Becker said, this is for 5, and it's not necessarily that much harder of a shot, but it needs to be pretty perfect.
Yeah, and this has been a tricky spot on the ice.
Well, it runs a bit straighter on the out turn. Wonder if it's going to curl a bit more while he's throwing the out turn. So we'll see here. Last stone, 15, could be for a huge score. Have they lost it here? Or will they come off this red onto the yellow, punches it over? Didn't have enough weight there, but it is for 1, maybe 2.
Looks like 2.
Yep.
Have a second
Not quite enough
closer
weight,
look
boys.
here. 2 for sure. Still, very good shot by Scott Becker.
Awesome shot.
He hit that pretty much where he wanted, but didn't throw a lot of weight, to be honest. Can throw more than that. But I think he'll take his 2. They'll be up 5-2 at halftime. Stay tuned, lots more from Gangneung Curling Center.
Okay, help clean it then. Keep it clean. Clean it. Give it some handle.
뭔가 힘도 없어 보이고 안 하던 미스도 하고 그러는 게 볼 때는 이렇게 썩 이해가 가질 않아. 부담을 주지도 않고 그냥 너네들 실력대로 하면 되는데 오히려 실력이 아니라 안 하던 더 못하는 거
It's
같아.
not going to do any harm. They could freeze on it, but it's not going to do them any good because it's still, as long as it's back. If it's close to the tee, you can get into trouble.
You don't refer a yell there, you know, where the weight is or if it needs to, you think it's going to be hard. Yeah. It's got to always cool and soft if the line's more important.
Yeah. So just a couple of those ones during that first 5. Same
First
weight,
end.
boys just put it on the pit.
New Zealand with a chance to score 2. Scott Becker with the forfeit to draw to. No problems from him. That one settles down in the back of the forfeit. 2 points for the Kiwis.
Nice end again, boys.
Trading singles through the second and third end, moving along to the fourth. As Kim So-hyuk being forced to make a nose hit for his one.
Moment he steals one. This is the difference between.
And a huge shot for Scott Becker, looking to come off the wide red here, potentially for 5. Throws it well, almost loses it in the end. Comes off perfectly. Just didn't have enough weight to move that red, but still scores 2 to lead the game 5-2 at halfway. And those are the scores in the Gangneung Curling Center this morning. 2 bronze medal games in action. China with the lead 4-1 over Hong Kong in the women's bronze medal game, as we're soon to have our men make it back onto the ice for the 6th end. Just taking a look at some of the stats so far. New Zealand outplaying Korea by 6%, and that's really the hit percentages for Korea. They've been struggling to make the hit and rolls, or even just to keep things open. Sixth end.
Okay, Dobby.
Just coming back onto the ice after halftime. A 5-2 lead for New Zealand. What do you think the teams have been discussing at halftime here?
Well, I mean, the Koreans need to activate their hammer. They have yet to make a significant mark with the last stone advantage. They now have the benefit of having the hammer, though, in the 6th end, and all things being equal, they will get it again in the 8th and the 10th. And if they can score 2 points each time, they can win this game.
Same way.
They're gonna have to really go for things, I think, every opportunity they have.
Line's a wee bit tighter.
Top toes. Weight's a wee bit softer.
Okay, well, we want to write down on this one. 4-6. Whoa. Needs to bend a wee bit.
4-6. 2. 4.
Go. Yep.
6.
Yep.
It just seems like we haven't really been able to set up the ends
Okay.
too well.
2 nice rocks, Dobby. Thank you.
And when they needed to open things up, Lee Jong-chae and Jung Byung-chin, the 2nd and 3rd for Korea, they've just haven't quite been able to do so, especially with the hits. We saw their percentages at 69 through 5 ends.
하나 더 들어오면 우리 진짜 안 돼.
I think they really need to bring their 2nd stone into the house. Sometimes they've been wrecking on the guard, coming up short, and it's just left New Zealand with no opposition stones in the house to care about, and they can just throw a guard and keep it locked up for Korea.
Yeah, but I'm also, this call is actually somewhat conservative here, Sander. They're down by 3 points. The second half of the game for the bronze medal, and you're going to need some creative rocks in play, and you're going to need some guards.
정지야, 계속 와.
It's not really helping at all.
I mean, that's just letting New Zealand off the hook.
Throw control.
And it's not just the technical throw not being precise, but the tactical choice itself is not that aggressive to allow the play to come into the rings.
Throw me. Yep. Yep, hard. Any roll can, so I need roll can. Okay.
And now all of a sudden this is an opportunity. 2 stones stacked behind the tee line, right on the forefoot.
T까지 와야 돼. 아이 괜찮아.
8. 오케이, T.
웨이트만.
얍.
얍.
라인만.
타이트해. 얍.
얍. 헐.
워. 아, 티베이트도 아닌 것 같은데.
Kind of the story of the Korean game so far.
동영이 샷 두 번째.
A little heavy, a little light. That stone's in an okay spot, but it will allow for a firm weight takeout for New Zealand.
Scott Becker saying I'd be more than happy for Anton Hood to remove not only the red, but one of the yellows at the back here to take that wall, that pocket away.
It's not going to curl enough to make that happen. Well, it did.
Kind of did it another way.
Momentary brain lapse. Sorry, boys.
Scott Becker having a little laugh.
No,
He didn't sweep that one out in the back of the 12-foot.
Still a bit of a pocket here for Korea to freeze onto.
T 받아줘.
8.
T.
스카이 T. T.
맹실아.
웨이 좋아.
웨이트만 T만 하면 돼.
딱 붙을 것 같아.
딱 붙으면 제일 좋아.
Looking much better here.
That's a beautiful shot. That's the kind of shot that Korea's going to need if they want to come back into this game.
You're not getting rid of that one. So you're just trying to hit this, leave it there, and just roll in front of it. Okay? Just play bumper. Losing that one's all good.
Looks very hard, or
What handle do you want, Simon? And turn.
maybe
Bumper.
impossible to get that red going here. So it's a bit of a patient setup shot here.
Yeah, I would just like to hit it just almost on nose. Just remove the back guard, your own yellow stone that's holding it onto the rings.
Hard!
This is over curling a bit.
Hard! Set. Okay, great try, mate. That's good there.
여덟.
라인 좋아.
계속 가야 돼.
8까지 와.
계속 가요. 7.
This one has got to be in where they need it.
계속 와줘.
조금만 더 그냥.
좀만 더 오자. 좀만 더 붙이자. 야, 바운스도 괜찮았어.
And now there's this chance for the little slash double. This is when New Zealand needs to check the scoreboard. Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Pretty tough.
I mean, even if you slam it back into here's fine.
Okay.
I'm just trying to kill. I mean, we'll go for the 2, but just killing one's important at the moment, so. Normal.
And the other option is you can hit the open one and sit 1, 2, and 3 and say,
Yeah, didn't mind that call. It's just it's quite thin. You're getting a lot of rotation on this first one.
yeah.
It's going to
and
catch the top, and
I don't know if it's going to catch the top.
that is also the risk you run playing a very thin slash.
It's peel, mate.
It might have been a hair overthrown. Simon got the input from his skip. Said it was peel.
Well, should have played peel if you were going to make that shot, I'd think.
Yeah. Yeah, just tighten up the ice, let your brushers get in that shot. And now it's a team decision.
사이드가 나을 것 같아. 굳이 괜히 약간 이렇게 갔다가 이렇게 하는 것보다 그냥 여기 하나 빼고
상대 스테이, 상대 스테이, 더블. 뭐라도 볼 것 같은데.
Let's pop on over
여기 하나 더.
to Hong Kong, China.
뭐 나쁘진 않나. 여기 모아놓으면 상대 이쪽 올것 같거든.
A 4-1 lead for the Chinese. As the last stone is underway, Hong Kong looking to score for the first time since the very first end when they stole 1 point.
Quick. All the way.
Actually looking for the blank there, but ends up scoring.
Sorry, guys.
So Gangneung ends up with 1 point. Could have set that probably a bit earlier. China will lead it 4-2. And back on our sheet, it looks like Korea's gonna play a draw around that corner guard.
Yeah, I love seeing this call. I mean, you put the corner guard up there, let's use it. They had a chance to use it a rock or two ago. It really will set you up for that second point for sure. And another half shot out of New Zealand, you could get 3.
Looking pretty good to maybe score 3 here now anyway.
You want to sit top 8 foot.
Sit level with either red here. Just a little bit in between.
Second shot on the other side of the 2. Huh? Yep. Yeah. Bumper? Yep. It's trying to flop to the other side of the 2. Try and get some sideways action and just maybe even sit in across beside them.
This is where I might even prefer playing the double. Because even if you miss that top red, at least you get the shot stone. Not a lot of danger playing it. But Skolbecker's just going to play the shot stone here and try and roll away a bit. There's always going to be a fair chance you'll leave a double on the yellows.
And this one's curling pretty quick.
Hard, you got it, hard and roll! Hard and roll! You roll. Roll!
Just not sure if I like that call.
Yeah, it was a little tender, as it were, tender in the weight, not real bold in the call. There was a chance for a double that I think they really needed to take.
I just think the hit and roll to not leave a double for Korea is harder to pull off than playing the double yourself.
Than playing the double yourself, absolutely.
Pretty important shot here for Kim So-hyuk. If he makes this double, he's most likely at least scoring 2.
Whoa!
Huge weight on this one. The biggest weight shot he's thrown.
But he's hanging out there. He's going to move enough to make the double, not quite.
But he does sit shot stone.
How easy is it to get to that yellow for Korea? Because probably see enough on the outside.
Yeah, the double. We know, but I'm just...
Is the roll there as well? Normal? Do that though. You rolled it there, then he just hits that for 2.
Well, no, we need to come down. I'm just looking at what's going to be the better option here.
I think 2 is an acceptable outcome here at this point.
Slash that.
The outturn.
Outturn?
Yeah. Because if you're tight, you're there, he might go to there, and then he's got to play it.
So they're playing the straight back double.
Dobby. Normal? Yeah.
I don't know if nose quite makes it. You might need to flirt a little inside nose.
Taking less and less ice here. We know it curls a bit
take it in again.
on this turn.
Yeah.
So now it depends on the kind of weight. The ice is tight. Remember his third through peel down this line that ran
straight back's fine,
stick straight.
Right on the outside.
If he catches the center line, though, this rock will curl.
Hard. Hard. Yep. Hard.
Oh.
Hard. Spin double.
Well, against the other double,
Sorry, boys.
I think he'll take it.
Just soft. Real soft. Double. Take it that way, I guess. Sorry.
It's always good to have a plan B.
Yeah, it is.
And it turned out it was pretty easy to make that double in the first place.
Yeah, just throw the other double a little tight. And
Well, that was the double we wanted him to throw
yeah,
earlier.
I know. It seemed to me to be the more natural double available out there.
더 가면 돼.
With the least amount of danger. But so curling, you try and call your shot. But you know what? The inadvertent double still counts.
조금 있어서 살짝 풀었다.
라인 좋아. 잡아도 돼. 어디? 와우. 와우.
워, 웨트,
와우. 잠깐만 기다려. 세면.
And this one's all about finding full forefoot, a little piece of the button, and right to it. Not a problem.
Well, so 2 points on the board for Korea. They claw back, but still New Zealand in the lead now, 5-4 after 6 ends of play.
일단 스틸 가고 1점 던져주는 거야. 아니면 스틸 가야 돼.
넷.
다섯.
다섯. 다섯.
다섯 좋아.
기다릴게.
아, 서야 돼.
라인 좀 타이트해지고
아,
있어.
안 돼.
뭐 들어와?
Finally, Korea scores a multiple end in the 6th. Tried a few times, couldn't quite get there. And now the center guard for Korea slipping into the rings here in the 7th end. Huge mistake, Anne.
Yeah, that is a critical error. It allows New Zealand to peel it away. They would be happy to blank this end. Remember we talked about having that hammer in the even ends, the last stone advantage.
Set, roll it on if you can.
You get the spin back and it bites back onto the rings. Super awareness there by Team New Zealand.
Well, if you start counting on the board, if you blank this end, and you have hammer in 8.
8 and 10. You know,
and Korea only has hammer in 9.
Yeah,
if you score once more than your opponent, most likely, and already up by 1. You're in a great position.
You know, you think as you set up the end, you've got 8 stones for your team. How difficult could it be to miss the first one? In a situation like this, when you are trying to force New Zealand to a single point and hold the hammer in the 8th end, it is so important. It is all valuable.
Gets the second guard in place, so free guard zone still in motion. Dobson not allowed to remove that center guard, so throw it to the wing, but I'm not sure about drawing this to this side.
Yeah, to this side. This complicates things for New Zealand. We're going to see how this plays out, but now both sides, because New Zealand is going to peel. They're going to peel these center guards, because I'd imagine that Korea will put another center guard up.
Yep. Thank you, Dobby.
Oh, no. they've decided with the hit and roll. So they're going to open up the side for the peel.
Yep. No, the thinking there is if there's a chance you're peeling center guards to keep it open, you don't want to put stones on both the wings, because just impeaches the chance of removing stones. You'll have catchers on both the sides, so it would have made more sense to maybe draw the other wing, but at the same time, New Zealand has
they've got one rock
2 stones
on.
in the house here.
Yeah, not quite yet. They're going to try and have 2 stones in the house here.
They had.
Yes, they're going to have an open hit and a stick here, and set up for 2.
Clean. Yep.
They'll take 2 if they can get a soft deuce, as we say.
Yeah, the easy 2, not go hard, not risk anything against.
And if it unravels, they'll happily take the blank as well.
And as that rock, it's climbing the rings with each subsequent takeout. The Koreans really need to take advantage of the roll. As soon as it gets any higher, it's going to be a difficult roll to get the right kind of depth and separation from the center guard. And it's running wide. It's going to get just to nose.
Bumper. Clean.
Sit up.
Yep.
Up last.
Whoa. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Sorry. Go.
And the similar tactics.
Nice throw, Zen.
Can Korea get the roll here finally?
컨트롤.
Clean. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. 정지.
It's close.
Not really.
Just can't get over the top there.
It's just, I'd rather see
Bumper.
an over-adjustment and roll far.
Yeah, and
There's
pull the
just-
play to the other side at least.
Yeah, maybe group the yellows, make New Zealand throw a different spot, just anything.
Yep.
Just to miss the same way over and over again, that's frustrating to watch.
Down.
Yep. Yep. Nice throw, Simon. Great shot.
You wonder if you should draw now if you're
Yeah, you might have to.
Korea, or play the other hit and roll.
The long one.
You got a little more cover now, actually. There's not a big hole between those top 2 stones.
Yep.
Nummer.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa, 동영아.
Again, just thinking it's like going to curl, but it's not.
Now this is a challenge. If that's the first shot stone for New Zealand to get on the rings, they've got to roll towards the center
Same
guard.
way.
They didn't want to do that, but
That's fine. Bumper.
the way the rocks are positioned, it's a must-do.
Clean.
Side. Tough.
Yep. Yep, hard.
Actually thrown the end turn here. And that's going to move on them.
Right across. Okay.
It's not. Like you said, Anne, it's going to
Looks soft.
move a bit more to the wings than from
Nice
the
try,
outside
buddy.
in.
Yeah, that
Just
inside
try to
out
get it
there,
This one, this one.
it's got tons of curl.
I think usually we see players might have just a tap more curl on their in turn as well, rather than the out turn.
Yeah, it naturally goes a little bit softer off your hand, and
especially playing to the wing, you have a tendency to be maybe a touch softer.
Guide
getting it going.
Guide it a little bit.
So now a chance for Korea. New Zealand still laying one. There's some cover here. Can even overbury a bit. Haven't quite seen Korea do that yet, but Kim So-hyuk with his little softer release might get a bit more finish down this spot.
Weight looks very good. They're not concerned for weight. This is all about the line.
See, it's not breaking as hard coming this way. But of course that makes it tougher for New Zealand to follow as well. If you don't quite get that bend in around. Be careful with the weight here, Scott Becker, when he comes after it.
Would just like to hit and actually roll to the open, I would think. I mean, doesn't have to be too clever.
Let's jump on over Jang Ye-lun with last stone for China as they play Hong Kong. Big sweep here. All off, all on. They overcooked it. They're looking for a little raise on the yellow. Maybe that's all they could do there to get second shot. It's a steal of one for Hong Kong. So pretty close game over there. China still up though, 4-3 after 7 ends.
Anton Hood is on this one right away. Did he kill the line on this one? Weight is really tender, the right kind of weight. It's got a ton of moving to do.
Here it comes. Get it, Dobby.
It's got to get all the way out of the rings. Does he hold the shooter? Oh, he does. What a shot.
Wow. So decision time for Korea here.
Yeah, all in.
Yeah, you can't play a hit here because you're giving away 2 when you're down 1 already.
And you're running out of ends.
You're just gonna have to make this draw. Just tighten up the brush a tiny bit, and you can afford to be back 4 here too if you're Kim So-hyuk. Just gotta get it buried and at least get the force. Get the force here in 7. Not too bad for the Koreans. Even if you're
and
back,
with a
back 8 foot, just buried. That's hard to get to for New Zealand.
Yeah, this is all about line for the Koreans. Getting it hidden.
Sweepers need to be patient here. It's floating. This is going to have to move quite a bit.
It's got tons of curling to do.
Gonna jump on this, drag it as far as you can.
There it starts to bend.
Just drag it, get it buried. So important, this one. They do bring it back 8, and it is fully buried, but they could have probably overburied it. Had a lot of room on the guard there. Wonder if Scott Becker could just follow. Now, do you play for 1? It's a very open house to just draw for 1. Or do you go after it?
1 gives you a pretty significant advantage in this game, a 2-point score, pretty big. The tie isn't, you know, if you should give up a steal, not bad, but 3 points here opens up the game so significantly. I think the risk reward is definitely in the favor of going for taking this Korean stone out of the rings.
I think especially because it's the 7th end. Even if you give up 1 here, still controlling the even ends. If this was the 8th end, however, you might be more tempted to maybe score the 1.
Score the 1, you bet.
So big shot for Scott Becker. He's had a few big ones today.
They're on, they're off.
Needing to move. It's not going to move a lot, but it's trying. It is really, really trying. Does it have enough weight to move the red far enough? It has not. And that is going to be a steal of 1 for Korea. is it not?
It's a steal of 1.
Sure is, and 5-5 after 7. Like we were hoping for. 3 ends left in the bronze medal game.
Yeah, you don't panic too much. Well, we got caught on first. I was leaving. No, we didn't panic too much. Heaps of room.
다섯.
넷.
다섯.
들어오지만 마. 넷 다섯.
네, 좋아.
라인 좋아. 르.
잘 안 된다.
정재야.
It is all tied up at 5-5.
저쪽으로 붙어야 돼.
After 7 minutes of play here. Bronze medal game. New Zealand with hammer. And we usually see them come around the centre guard when they have hammer, if there is a centre guard to come around.
Real full. See, might find a wee bit of swing out here. No, I don't want 2.
See only. Top 2 only.
Get ready.
Top 2 only.
Yep, bend it.
Not sure if this is going to make its move over. This is the straighter turn.
Yeah, it's there. It starts to go.
Yep. Fight that inside edge.
That is the kind of patience you need in a straighter spot like this, having confidence in the arena that it will move at the end.
Wait for it to bend, mate.
And that tells the story a little bit about what's happening in the battle of the leads. You know, advantage definitely to New Zealand on rock placement at the lead position. We've seen it several times throughout the game.
하나 둘.
그냥 센터 하나야.
하나.
That is very important for.
라인 좋아.
Well, it's almost like the leads become more and more important as the end is coming to a close. Really need these centre guards in place from Gangneung, and that is a great setup by him. 2 centre guards, lots of separation, more or less on line. That is needed from Korea if they're going to get a force or a steal to turn this game back round.
Yeah, those double guards will come in very handy, and they have to steal this end. You just go so hard in 8, knowing the advantage of getting up in the scoreboard here.
Whoa, up here. Where? There?
And sometimes you see games be
that's a
determined
nice rock,
in
Dobby,
the 8th
thank
end.
you.
A team goes really hard for the steal. Sometimes they risk giving up a big end. So it could be the key one here. But Kim So-hyuk not too aggressive here. Could have played the freeze, come around. So, all cautious approach. Something I've seen from Korea, the start ends very aggressive, but then the cautious approach after.
Yeah, it's a little schizophrenic. You know, are we on offense? Are we on defense? And
it's just it's like getting the center guards up there to have something, but then playing it very cautiously. And it's been working sometimes, like in the previous end, they got away with it, but they were risking giving up 3. Dead even between the seconds here. You can see that Lee Jung-chae better on draws, but Anton Hood has been much better on hits. So it's a little bit of difference still, although they're both throwing 77% through 7 ends of play. See a bit more movement on this turn. Should dig in deep.
And they want this above the tee line. Very important to stay above the tee line, under cover. Pretty solid placement there from Anton Hood's draw.
8, 7.
1번 안 되죠?
1번 될 수 있는데 들어와서 된다고 해도 얘가 보이잖아.
안 보여요, 아예.
안 보여?
아예 안 보여요.
아, 뒤로까지 괜찮아.
오케이.
Beautifully controlled release. Trying to land this stone underneath the center guards. Top forefoot. Half check underneath the New Zealand stone. Oh, right on top of it. It's a good shot. New Zealand could play the little in-off double from the side. They could start peeling the centers.
Yeah. This.
Well, do we hit that one and roll in first?
If you do anything with that, they just put a guard on.
Press the inch of that yellow. My stone's a bit loose.
Because that could come back and hurt us later. What's going on?
Handle, loose handle.
So when the handle gets loose, the teams are allowed to call it what's a technical timeout. You see them make the X sign in front of their chest.
Handle.
Ah, right. Okay.
So the handle's loose. It's very difficult to throw the stone accurately. So the chief ice technician or one of the members of the crew will come out and they will tighten that handle up for Anton Hood. And while that happens, the clock stops.
Put one there.
Yep.
The other option is just come down and tap that.
Yeah, you can see an inch of it.
Play that.
Follow there, just back 2, wait.
Takes away
So
this.
there's Sean Olsen.
Yeah.
He's the chief ice technician, and he is also in charge of taking care of the stones in the field of play.
I don't mind
And
that.
he tightens that handle for Anton Hood. Now we'll find out what the Kiwis have decided to do here.
The other one's just put one on top of that.
Yeah. They can see a wee bit of that yellow.
Only an inch.
Yeah, bugger all.
We've got the hammer.
Take the guard.
Reckon so.
No.
Thoughts?
Make a call.
Do you want to have a go at that?
Yeah.
That was Sean's. That was Scott's first instinct to play the in-off.
No, normal. That's fine.
And it's a ton of benefit if you make this.
It's a bit of an all or nothing kind of shot. If you don't make it, it doesn't give you anything. And it's not all the...
Whoa!
Set that one back, popped it back, but curls here. Might be the perfect throw for this spot.
See Anton Hood coming off, makes a double. Very good shot by the young lad.
Great shot.
Wow.
That's a super shot. And after the timeout, the stone needing to be adjusted, all of the kind of additional things happening.
Yeah, that's that stop in the play. That's something that can throw off a 40-year-old. But Anton Hood, 18, makes the in-off look easy. And New Zealand sitting free. Like I mentioned, this eighth end could be very much a game-deciding end.
Yeah, the good news for the Koreans, those double center guards. And look at this, that picks.
We have a pickup.
So any kind of debris or footprint, flat spot on the ice. So disappointing for Jung Bae-jin.
I think
So he
I'm
can't
not sure if
do
I've
this.
seen a single pickup all
Come
week
off the back side of
myself.
it. The top six.
Maybe
Frozen
one.
down to it's
I've
not
seen
bad
this
either.
is the third one I've seen. It's been pretty random. It's been such a non-occurrence though.
Fighting top four is perfect, boys.
And that is unlucky.
It's
Unlucky
just
break
brutal
for Korea.
timing. Brutal timing. That stone was headed into a nice spot. You hate to see that.
So
Where?
see if New Zealand can capitalize here.
Right on my brush.
Yeah, we talked about the distraction of the stoppage of time and the adjustment of the handle for Anton Hood and Team New Zealand.
Hard!
The pick stone, very similar kind of distraction. Korea's gonna have to
Hard luck, Sai.
let that one go. And now with the Kiwi stone slipping to the back of the forefoot, you can see the out. Korea's got a great chance. He's got to throw the same shot.
That exact result we've seen a few times from New Zealand today, where wanting top four foot, calling that tee line, then thinking let's go deep, but the call comes too late. They end up just being back of the button.
Yeah, and this stone is tracking wide.
Oh, this is not taking their chances here, Korea. That was a great opportunity to play a freeze. And, probably the same call for New Zealand.
Yeah, they have to play the draw. I mean, hitting the one in the back of the forefoot doesn't get you anything except leave that same freeze right back for Korea.
Yeah.
Top four.
That's good.
Makes the draw pretty tricky for him.
No, but he just draws through that hole.
Yeah. Well, do you want to be this side of the centre line then?
I'm going to call time, boys.
Yeah, go.
Time.
So that's the official timeout. It's not the X across the chest technical timeout. It's the single timeout that the team is given through the game. It's a 60-second timeout. Once the coach gets to the players, they start running a clock, and they'll go through their options.
No, I'm looking because you know they can throw a big weight. Yeah. But if you put that there, there's the option, yeah, but they can do this. They might get action on that, but that can go there, and just around and out.
Yeah, you have to put it there. You have.
If you don't get it right,
he knows it runs it back.
I'm just trying to think of. I've got to think 2 shots ahead here, right? Like,
think steps ahead, exactly.
I quite like that.
Yeah, but then he just does this and then potentially leaves his there.
Yeah.
And then how do you start looking at your multiples, right?
So then we can tap back.
Yeah, I think there. I think there's going to be the toughest place.
Yeah.
He's going to come down and try and freeze into this pocket, though.
You got to
Yeah,
miss
that's
that.
that's his shot. That's his shot.
Here.
Up there. Sure. There.
Because if he doesn't get that right,
he's not.
could jam on that. What do you think, Simon?
Yeah, if you get too tight on there though and he draws around and behind it, then you're in trouble. You just got to start moving.
If you put one on the corner guard on that and he just locks that, you're screwed. Like, you're not getting it off.
Well, top two.
The other shot is to try and take those two away and roll out yourself.
It's not a bad call, actually. Throw normal there.
Yep.
Catch that and roll over here.
Yeah, I like that actually.
Okay.
But you got to miss that.
Oh, you easily missed that.
Okay.
Do you like that call?
Yeah.
Normal control, normal.
I like the draw weight, but
Interesting call here.
Nah.
They seem like
We need to, even if you do this.
most of the discussion here is to just draw top
if you've got
four.
three-
I wouldn't be too
three
worried about
thirds.
Bumper.
Korea hitting at this point.
Control.
To be honest, if you leave a
Catch
double
that
or
top yellow, move this one back here
or
and roll
anything,
into there.
Peter Becker, the coach, just before the timeout
Joe.
ran out, he said, well, you could play a double yourself here. Just remove those 2 stones from the back of the forefoot. There's nothing to freeze onto for Korea.
Yeah, it's such a, your instinct is to leave your own stones in play, but one of your own stones is the trouble stone. Why not try and get rid of it?
That's not a bad call. There's still going to be something left for Korea, and this isn't the greatest result.
Nah, just throws a hair wide on that one and sits on the nose. And Korea's options, it's not going to take long for them to decide.
아, 벌어지면 안 돼. 그냥 위에 와서 딱 서야 돼.
근데 타이트하면 맞더라도 약간 이렇게 잡아야 될 것 같아. 오케이, 오케이. 무슨 말인지 알았어.
이쪽이 안 나가는 건 아니지. 이쪽에 웨트가 안 나가고 그런 건 아니지.
네.
네.
The young guys need Kim So-hyuk here.
But if he makes this freeze or even just positions it in the top of the forefoot, it could be very difficult to get rid of for Team New Zealand.
Just want to stay slightly high on the shot stone here, not overcurl it.
그냥 붙이면 돼.
동영이가 와야 돼. 오케이, 와.
아, 라인 너무 붙고 있다.
라인, 와, 괜찮아.
This is looking pretty good. Real nice.
Textbook.
Yeah. Stays at just that inch high on the center line side to make it really tough for New Zealand to remove. As we see Kim So-hyuk
Or it's just come down and do this
maybe
now.
having an edge on Scott Becker overall, but Scott Becker has made some really key shots.
Yeah, he has.
Just throw hack. Not even hack, just back line.
For a hack,
Probably throw normal at it.
Back line about there.
Yeah, and I think New Zealand just wants to get to nose, right? I mean, they want to try and
We're on the nose,
unlock
really, eh?
their stone.
Yeah, on the nose.
Yeah.
There we go. Unlock their own
Just back
yellow
line, just
stone.
trying
They
to move
won't
our
be
yellow
shot
back
after the
So
shot.
we can set ourselves up for a
But-
shot on the last.
There we go.
Sit shot for a start.
On the nose of the yellow.
No commentary necessary with Scott Becker wearing a
We're coming down
microphone.
onto the red with with back line. Just tapping our yellow that's on it, behind it, back.
Yeah, right.
So back line. Anything above back line, you're gonna have to wait for this to bend. Go a bit in, Dobby. Yeah.
Oh, I like
Thing is gonna
tightening up
sit
the
here.
ice. Make sure your sweepers get
So
a
what are you
play
wanting?
this one.
15.
It does curl a bit more this way.
15.
This is when your heart starts racing a little bit, maybe. And it's very easy to add a little extra weight.
Or to sweep it too soon. Weight looks a little soft, if anything.
Starting to move. Trying to hold it here.
Get a wee bit.
That is looking pretty perfect from Scott Becker and team. Wow.
Absolutely beautiful.
Gets that.
Angles are all good.
Catches just slightly on the center line side to leave shot.
Yeah, as
Shot
he said,
stone. It's just perfect. And they get angles that red one away a little bit.
yeah, as he said, the angles are all good.
Danger for Korea.
이 오는 돌이
Doesn't get this
살아있으면
right. You've still got
최대한
potentially sideways off that one.
오케이. 그냥 같은 샷 하면 될 것 같아.
8? 지금 여기였어.
다 모이거나 그러면 안 돼. 그냥 정타 맞으면 다 뻗을 수 있으니까. 똑같이.
오케이.
프리즈하고 1점만 줘야 된다, 그치?
오케이, 지금 상대 1이죠.
정자 조금만.
I think New Zealand shot stone here. I wonder if this might just be a freeze on top and onto the pocket in the top four, just to try and make sure New Zealand doesn't score more than the one.
Yeah, make it as difficult as possible to score two here. That's got to be their goal at this
라인
point.
괜찮아.
오케이, 웨이트 좋아.
라인 괜찮아.
살짝 범위야.
괜찮아. 야, 동영아. 많이 돌았어.
Real nice. Two clutch shots from Kim So-hyuk.
Yeah, that is a great shot.
나도 줄 알았나?
Can New Zealand see enough of it?
Will it spin through?
Well, you can come off.
Tell you what.
You can come through there.
If he can hit what he can see, that's for a
You've
bundle.
got to push that one there. You've got to collect that one up.
You've got to collect that one on the way through.
Yeah. I don't know how she
You're
can
going to see
that.
about a quarter.
Oh, I'll go down and have a look at the other end, but it's definitely just missed that with normal.
It's there.
And you'll get it.
Through the gap.
Shouldn't be in your
Oh
risk
yeah,
here
you can
either.
see over half
Yeah.
the rock.
Yellow jams.
You're on the heck, yeah?
Even if you catch your own yellow.
No, you need to.
should
You got to
just
throw enough weight
stick
to
on the
move
back
that
right.
top
Yeah, I
red
know.
out.
At about a quarter.
You see about a quarter.
Oh, I can see nearly half.
Oh,
Just put it on the edge of the yellow.
this would be quite a shot.
Hit about there.
Whoa. Yep.
Well, for how many? A million?
Put on this poison and get off.
Anything more than 3 would be a million at this point.
Big shot for Scott Becker here.
Yeah, it's potentially for 6, 7 if the shooter sticks around. I think you're going to lose the shooter, but
Yep. Hard. Whoa.
Big sweep.
Hard.
Need to get past that guard at the top. Or past it. What's he got here? 1, 2, they spin out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. No, just the 3. We have that red in the back of the 8. Well, like you said, 3 is a million at this point for New Zealand. What a shot by Scott Becker. He's made all the important ones today. That is an 8-5 lead for New Zealand through 8 ends.
Sweet.
괜찮아?
Gotta go.
Got to be in. Got to be in. Come on.
6.
Have a
Keep
look.
going. 4.
Yep. Back here, Brett. Here. Have a look. Have a look. Whoa, 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 whoa. Doesn't glide in. Nice sweeping. Good sweeping.
New Zealand starts this 9th end. They lead it 8-5. Huge shot by Scott Becker. Scores a 3 in the 8th end. And they are well underway. So that bronze medal would be a first podium finish for the New Zealand men's team since 2011, where Scott Becker played with brother Sean, and of course the team skipper Peter de Boer, losing out to Lou Ray
아, 셋이
that
좋아.
year.
내 손 누가 힘들어?
Silver.
yeah, so it's been a little while since the Kiwis have been on the podium, but not to get too far ahead.
Nothing's over by this point.
Keep him out there. Sweep him out. Top 2. Yep. Hold him out this side. Don't mind the wee bump here. Whoa. Yep. Don't mind the wee bump here. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, Dobby.
Great shot, mate.
2 good shots by Warren Dobson, or as you'll mostly hear him
Dobby,
be called Dobby. I
right?
don't think I've heard the teammates call him Warren a single time. I just want to bring everything to the house at this point.
And he's done such a good job of setting up the field of play for New Zealand every end. And then they've kept it pretty steady between the 2nd and the 3rd, and Scott Becker has thrown some big shots. And you can see it in the line score.
Of course, the 5 rock rule coming into play now, because if this was last season, It'll be a little different.
Yeah, you could just start hitting. Now, Anton Hood, he's got to take a pause, throw a touch shot here on the 5th rock being thrown into play. You can't take out those corner guards just yet.
No, we want it biting, not tight. I don't care the line. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey, it, survive. Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Doesn't need to be all in. It's all about the line on this one. Okay. Go.
And New Zealand stacks up all 3 of their stones right there, close to the center line.
Control.
Korea's got those 2 corner guards, and they're going to try and get this shooter. Remove 1, maybe 2 of the New Zealand stones, and then get the shooter underneath the corner.
Yep.
Yes.
Hard.
Whoa. 동현아.
Okay.
Control.
Control.
Yep.
Roll up.
Now,
Positive.
New Zealand could have elected to remove 1 of the corners, but
We bump. Sit.
electing to go with, if it's not in the painted
No,
parts,
not really. I
it
just
cannot
wanted
go
to
on the
take out the
scoreboard
corner
theory
guard.
of curling.
Nice throw.
Let's jump on over. Sheet C, Hong Kong plays China in the women's bronze medal game. It's Zhang Yilun with last stone for China. Up by 1 at this point. Actual score of a couple here. Look at that, double run back to stick it. That is 2 points for China. Incredible shot. Zhang Yilun all up and down throughout the game, but that's a great one to secure a 6-3 lead before coming into the final end of play.
Hack. Catch the guard.
Yeah.
Play tight.
Ooh, a little bit of a wobble out of the pack there for Simon Neilson.
Back up.
Touchy shot, trying to pick one out around a corner.
Whoa.
Hitting the corner guard, absolutely acceptable outcome there.
Good try.
Open up that side of the field to play.
Try, mate. You slip out of the hack. Yeah.
Okay.
이거. 이거.
웨이트 읽어야 돼.
동현 천천히 봐.
8.
와우.
확실히 8 아웃. T.
정재가 와야 돼.
기다려. T 10.
정재가.
T 10. 11.
들어오자. 정재.
어디까지 찍어?
정재 계속 와.
This one
그냥 와.
hung on that center line quite a long way. Didn't quite tuck underneath the corner. A little bit heavy.
And there's more finish on that in turn, but
Try going
crossing
to
the
that
center
one.
line, you're not getting as much. So just too much ice from Kim So-hyuk.
Yeah, and a hair too much weight from his third. Now, Simon slipped out of that hack the last time. This time, no problem.
Pump only.
Yeah, Howard!
Did he underthrow this a bit?
None of this bumper only stuff. Come on! Okay, nice sweep.
Great sweep to
Good
hold that
throw.
one. Threw that a little bit softer than I think they were anticipating. Little down weight.
All the way hard! None of this bumper only stuff. Come on!
None of this bumper only stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice
so.
sweep. Good throw.
It's a great running commentary from Scott Becker, for
정재
sure.
와야 돼.
Between the roars.
진짜 계속 와 돼. 계속 와.
Hold this one here, Korea. Actually oversweeps it in the end.
Yeah, they do, and the double's available.
Normal there.
Oh, he's made
Make
a
sure
few
the hit first.
good
and then
shots
go
there,
for double
Backer.
kick. Normal.
Can he make one more?
He needs 4 more.
Whoa, yeah.
Needs 4 more good shots.
I think he's been more prolific with his second stone than the first stones today.
Yes, yes, he has. Well, if you're gonna make one of the two as a player, it's always best to make the second one.
Whoa, whoa.
He's made much more than that, though.
Close. Yep.
Close here. Double on for Scott Becker and New Zealand. One, just slips underneath.
Oh,
Too thin.
overswept it a little bit.
Well, it does curl more on the in-turn there, so playing the outs. Not too surprising, it runs a bit straighter. Definitely a chance for Korea. Come around that corner, get a stagger. Could get a 3 out of this still.
반대로 가고 싶은데 반대가 힘들어 지금.
Yeah.
2번만 만들자 그렇지.
There's a great look at the setup. Tuck one underneath the corner guard on top of your own red one. Create some separation. Oh, and you get a half shot from New Zealand or a miss. We could be tied up coming home.
Become maybe 3 cores buried here. That way you only show about a quarter of each red stone. Makes it tough for New Zealand to get to either.
All of the finish will be at the end.
Comes a little deep. Makes you wonder if New Zealand might consider drawing after, but no. Just gonna play the hit on the open
just
red.
Going for one. Don't need to take the double here. But just, just take one if we're on a great line, take 2.
Good mature call by Scott Becker.
Yeah, he's reading the scoreboard. He's got a 3-point lead. Giving up 2, his team will still be leading. And they'll have the last rock in the 10th end.
The red's pretty open here, so it should be okay to get the 1. Saying if they have the line to overcurl and maybe get the skinny double, they'll take it. But first they need to get past the guard here. And it's just feathered it and feathered the second red. I can't believe it.
Oh, just a little bit inside on his release. He's got that little motion where he backs up the stone, pops the release, just got it going in that really curly spot in the ice.
Wow.
Ticks 2, removes none.
Literally a hair less curl, and the 1 red is gone. So now a draw to score 3 for Kim So-hyuk to tie the game. After 9 ends, just playing the same path again here. Same throw, same everything. If anything, a bit less weight. Give the sweeper something to work with. Looking pretty good here. Just some light dusting. And this is going to settle in for 3 points. Korea is very much back in it. Tied game again. One more to go in this bronze medal game.
Top 2. Yep. Top 2,
Yep.
top 2, top 2. Just put them there. I don't care. Top house is fine, but.
넷. 좀 타이트해. 라인 좋아.
이거 가야 돼?
계속 와줘. 5까지 와야 돼. 넷, 5.
이거 가야 돼. 넷. 좀만 더.
Look at the scoreboard here. Couple of threes on the 8th and 9th end. Huge drama, and it's a tied game. One more end to go. Can't be better, can it, man?
No, this is an awesome finish to the week for both of these teams. Just a gritty performance there in the 9th end by Team Korea.
No. Ready to bend it. Yep, bend it off. Yep, right back. Too much ice, Dobby, again. My bad.
I think that stone sits in a fine spot, actually. I know teams put that stone way out into the wings, but when it's right there, it actually makes the peels. You can go over the top of them, and you could actually use that stone to come in off if you needed to later in the end.
If you're looking for a blank early in the game, you might come wider, but I don't think you'll see Korea playing the hit and roll here. They'll just be drawing all day. Got nothing to lose. Doesn't matter if they give up a 7. All they need to do is score 1 here. So I agree. Sits in a fine spot for New Zealand to potentially use later on.
You know, some discussion here from Team Korea about where to put these guards. The first one came to the halfway point only. They wanted it tighter or long. Now they're trying to figure out exactly where. I think really long is the way to go. It's a very difficult shot to throw. You've got to throw, almost miss it, and it requires the team sweep. Do they have it over? They do. That is an awesome team shot right there.
It's really good. That's brave as a lead to be able to throw that weight as well.
Yeah, and
oversweeps it if anything, actually. Little panic.
Yeah, they were just so concerned. It's very hard to put the rock just over the hog line into the field of play.
No, it can't be back.
And there's a slight angle on the center guard, so double
Oh,
is
here's
possible.
the same situation, Sander. This back line weight, and then they end up sweeping it to just... Okay, that one they got a little bit further than they have all game. That's good news. A frustrating rock placement for Dobby.
아웃턴도 괜찮아요.
똑같지 않냐?
아웃턴도 괜찮아요.
Not the best setup from either lead in this 10th end. Maybe some nerves coming into play.
Yeah, they know how important their rocks are. The pressure mounts. And now this is a stone. This potentially is the winning stone of this game. If the second player's rock can sit full 4-foot under cover, those guards are out there quite a ways. And look at that rock positioning. Outstanding shot. Top of the button, full 4-foot, super shot.
He's had really good draw weight today. Jongche.
Whoa,
Need a double for Anton Hood. Over curls and leaves the shooter. Disaster for New Zealand.
That is absolute disaster. All of a sudden, that rock from the beginning of the end is looking pretty valuable if as the in-off.
가드야. 6, 1번.
5, 6.
수로 있어?
어.
가서.
얍, 잡아가자. 얍,
어, 웨트만 봐. 라인 좋아. 여섯.
라인 진짜 좋아.
여섯.
오케이. 와우.
오. 깊다. 오. 너무 많이 와.
샷.
아, 저도를 좀.
Really needing the double peel.
One. And oh, just feathers the second one.
And now all of a sudden you wonder if Korea isn't going to peel the yellow rock that's sitting in the 8-foot.
Yeah.
Oh, one more guard.
Maybe still a bit early. Kim So-hyuk thinking, well, I think New Zealand's going to keep peeling guards a while longer. But yeah, they might see Korea make a play on that yellow. And it's going to be tough to place this guard again. Just like earlier in the end. This needs to be just over the hog line.
If you get it too close to the other guard, they're easier to remove.
Sure.
붙으면 절대 안 돼.
A little unlucky, you might set up an angle where you can double off the guards, maybe even get something in the house going. And it comes a bit deep.
It does come a bit deep. It does force New Zealand to play the other turn. Keep going back and forth here.
Could catch this in a perfect spot. Might be able to get more than two reds going.
Yeah, you could pick something off the top of the house. Sweeper's on it right away.
1, 2.
Attaboy!
Oh, very close to the top there.
Outstanding shot.
That's really good. Because now Korea definitely can't make a play on that yellow. They need the guard. So they're going to have to leave a shot for New Zealand.
Attaboy!
라인만.
오.
라인만 가요. 셋.
셋 좋아.
Same place as his last one would be pretty good.
아, 제발.
No sweeping.
멀리 쓰자.
아니야, 커브다 길어 이거.
Starting to overbend, if anything.
오케이, 샷.
That's a good shot.
Pretty good there.
You can do that exact same throw, you'll get connection with all three.
Yeah, you'd love
Same
to
way.
get some action on the reds in the house.
Yeah, just to get him a little bit away from the center of the ring.
You wouldn't want to clip that yellow rock in the 8-foot though.
Yep! Whoa!
Don't want to remove that. Out you have right there.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So less of a danger for Korea now.
Yeah, the angle becomes pretty steep. It's now more of a redirect than
And a roll.
yeah.
Because that shot stone has a good chunk of the button, very hard to outdraw.
날리면 뒤에 거 여기다 풀이해도 상관없을 것 같아. 1점 따기 힘들어. 그지? 럼백 친다고 해도 뒤에 게 이겨볼 수도 있으니까.
Yeah, and there's something else that Korea has. They have a luxury of a little bit more time, and their timeout is still available to them.
셋.
지금 먼지가 되게 많아.
정지야, 8 바깥쪽이야.
셋.
셋. 살짝 신경 쓰였던 게 사라져서 다행이다. 이것만 잘 치면 돼.
라인만 천천히. 넷.
라인 굿.
셋.
라인 굿.
셋.
와우.
출발!
형진이가.
가, 현지 와, 현지 와.
정진아, 세터처럼 붙어야
형진아
돼.
쭉 들어와.
정진아, 계속
Really
가.
want this one to curl.
정진아, 계속
기다려.
가면 돼.
좀만 더. 좀만 더.
They want to split that center line.
오케이. 샷.
샷.
Gorgeous rock placement.
I think Scott Burke's going to have to try and play that thin double now. He needs to move that shot stone.
Yeah, he's got to give himself some space.
Even if he could just tap it back of the tee line, just anything to force Korea to replace it. Not the situation Scott Becker was hoping for at the start of this end. Oh, the out turn actually here.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Seems a bit less natural.
Close. Whoa. Close.
Needs to catch it really thin. That's too thick, rolls over the top, but doesn't really leave it in a usable spot either. This is going to be very tough now. I think, well.
You can't block both sides. Now it's about choosing which side do you want him to try and throw the draw on.
안 보이긴 아예 안 보여.
그러니까 어차피 럼백은 안 나올 것 같아.
네.
럼백 한다고 해도
There's definitely more room on the in-turn.
우리가 한쪽만 막으면 될 것 같아.
타임 써도 돼. 타임?
지금 여기서
But do you want to throw a wide guard to take off the path? Could make an easier angle run for New Zealand.
And the timeout's called.
럼백만 주면 안 돼. 멀리서 해야 돼.
그냥 라인 가드로.
지금 내려올 돌은 저 돌밖에 없는데 저거는 솔직히 불가능하잖아.
네.
만약에 우리가 가까이 와가지고 우리 돌로 더블 맞아버리면 1점 주고 끝나니까. 아예 멀리. 이쪽이나 이쪽. 그냥 드로우를 주는 거야.
여기가 뻗기는.
So recognizing that putting up a guard might leave New Zealand another option.
가드를 아예 멀리 치고 한쪽 길을 주려고요. 드로우를.
멀리 두지 말고
뒤에 거 날릴까?
지금 우리 가드하고 센터 가드하고 탑하우스에 있는 거 그 사이 중간에 인턴을 막아놓으면 들어오 길도 막히고 런백을 맞을 수도 없고.
넷, 다섯이에요?
아 위에 더 위에 다섯 넷.
여기에요?
넷 물려서.
여기 이렇게?
살짝 물려서.
이렇게 내려오지 않게.
어차피 할 거는 상대가 지금 인턴 드로우밖에 없어.
살짝 물려서 해야 되잖아.
더 위에.
엇각으로?
아웃턴을 줄까요? 인턴을 줄까요?
아웃턴을 줘야지.
아웃턴을 주자.
인턴을 맞고 아웃턴을 줘야지.
지금 스윙이 커서.
그러니까 아웃턴은 돌아 들어와요.
네, 인턴은 안 돌아요.
인턴이 좀 덜 돌아서 지금 여기서 봤을 때는 거의 비슷해요.
그게 돌아 들어갈 수 있을 정도로 들어와?
네.
아웃턴이? 그럼 그렇게 막아.
아웃턴을 막자.
네.
아웃턴을 그 위치. 아니 가까워.
네. 더 위에.
깊으면 별로일 것 같아.
깊은 거보다 아예 멀리가 나아.
라인만 막으면 돼, 라인만.
So with this call, I'm thinking Korea would rather see New Zealand play the draw than to run the center guard back. So just trying to put it like half checked around that center guard to make the run back pretty much impossible.
형진, 형님 거 몇 초였어?
If they wanted to take away the draw, they could have played a high
정지야
guard
조금 더 잡자.
on the
포플라인
in-turn.
잡으면 돼요.
Yeah, all the shots left for New Zealand are a very high level of difficulty, no matter where this one goes. I think the only thing you don't want to put it too close to the rings and wide open to create an angled access to the shot stone on the button.
아 괜찮아. 벌써 라인 막혔어. 웨이트만 봐.
Now New Zealand has 43 seconds left on their clock.
동영이만 계속 와.
아 호구만 넘기면 돼.
They've used their timeout as well.
Yeah, so shot call.
I'm surprised they threw the guard there. There's more room on the in-turn.
Yeah.
It does curl more on the out-turn, but
So
definitely more curl in
Out
in-turn,
turn,
but I guess that doesn't really
right on the
matter
line.
because
New Zealand gonna throw the run back.
yeah, they're going to have to move the shot stone off the forefoot without jamming on their back yellow. That's going to be the
Tough shot here.
last stone run back by Scott Becker for the bronze medal, but he's flicked this one a bit too wide, and it's not going to come off for them. Korea will steal this bronze medal here in the 10th end. A game that looked so good for the Kiwis all the way from the first end. It's just slipped through their fingers at the very last moment. And Kim So-hyuk with his new young team is able to pull through the bronze medal and a final score 9-8.
Well played, boys.
Well played, Ant. Played like a star this week, buddy. Well played.
Not the result Korea was hoping for. Didn't get those top 2 spots to get to the World Championship. Both teams will have another chance in the qualifying event for the Kiwis. They were, of course, really hoping to pick up a medal, especially Scott Becker. Would be a first for him as a skip. Sixth end. Korea line 1, a draw for 2 for Kim So-hyuk. No problems there. Finds the top of the forefoot. 2 points on the board for Korea. They claw back.
Oh, keep it up.
Moving along to the 8th end. A couple of really good shots by Kim So-hyuk, but it's still left a chance for Scott Becker to make this double takeout to score 3. Beautiful shot. The Kiwis take a 3-point lead, but a huge mistake by Scott Becker feathering the guard. Leaves a draw for 3 to tie the game. Kim So-hyuk makes no mistake, and it's tied at 8 before the 10th end. And in that final end, the run back of Scott Becker didn't come off. Korea steals it, and the bronze medal belongs to them. Final score 9-8. We also had the women's bronze medal game on this morning. China was able to pick up that win 8-3. It was Hong Kong needing a big score in the final end that didn't come off. See the round robin standings here. The top 2 teams from the round robin, they will play the gold medal game later today here in the Gangneung Curling Center. And Korea was able to revenge their loss against New Zealand in the round robin stage in this bronze medal game. So the bronze belongs to Korea, but later on we will find out who will win that gold. China, Japan, great game coming up later. We have an interview with Kim So-hyuk.
Congratulations on a fantastic bronze medal. How good does that victory feel?
오늘 승리한 거에 대한 기분이 어떠신지, 그 동메달 확정 지었는데 어떠신지?
어제 결승전에 집중하지 못해서 좀 아쉬운 마음으로 경기에 임했는데 결과가 나쁘지 않아서 다행이라고 생각하고 있습니다.
I would love to talk about last night game. It was a big shame they lost last night, so they would love to focus on this today. So they win, so they are happy now.
Okay, and with that, is that bronze medal still important to your preparation for qualifying for the Worlds?
오늘 동메달 결정전이 Q 대회 월드 퀄리피케이션 이벤트 대회를 위해서 얼마나 중요한 경기였는지.
네, 뭐 아직 세계 선수권 대회 갈 수 있는 티켓이 남아있기 때문에 그 대회를 생각하면서 최선을 다했고 또 동메달 따는 거 생각하면서 다음 큐 대회 때 준비해서 가서 티켓을 따고 싶습니다.
We still have chance to go to World Men's, so they try to focus on this game, and doesn't matter what's the win and loss, but they would love to have the bronze medal today.
It was a great game. You played so well. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, that is it for the bronze medal games this morning from Gangneung. There are gold medal games left in it, the women's and men's, coming up later.
얼음은 어때? 괜찮았어?
Well played, Ant. You played like a star this week, bro.